Hello, and welcome to Rolling Escapades Season 2, the filler episodes, Part 2 of 3. Hopefully there's less poo this time.
That's definitely not the title we agreed on.
The series the series in which 9 dudes, please don't, or 3.
What? At least it was divisible
Am I
properly
seeing,
this
like-
time.
Are we seeing 3 people each or something? Shit, I don't know.
Just a second, let me borrow
I'm not
those.
telling you about my private life.
Now I'm seeing double. No.
Oh, fucking hell, yeah, now I'm seeing 3 people. Whew.
Liam's not here, so it's me again. Huzzah. Announcements. Our sponsor is Desdie, as always, because there's a big logo on the screen you're watching that says Desdie. They sell wonderful chainmail things and macrame things, and they love us and we love them, and go and look at their website and buy their stuff. It's very good. A shout out to our artist, Christopher Rolls. He's drawn campaign art for us, and he's got stuff on DM's Guild like Izzy's Slightly Used Airships. Go and check that out. We have a Patreon now. Please go and look at our Patreon and support us. There's the 2 tiers. There's the $1 tier and the $5 tier. The $5 tier gets you bonus extra stuff. Please follow us on social media. We have a Twitter, an Instagram, a Facebook, etc. The stream is we have a stream on Twitch TV. It's Twitch TV/FURN Gaming. We have a podcast on iTunes and Podbean. Just search for the FURNcast. All links are in the description. And if you're watching this video the day it comes out, on Saturday the 24th, at 3 p.m, our FURN raiser starts. And please tune in and help and watch and support us and raise money for charity. Huzzah! Marvellous. So following on from last week's one, it's not a one shot, it's the 3 one shots linked together. Sadly, Yandar and Zunnig are not with us this week. Yandar has gone off to attend a private cultural event in the forests. So he's away from the city at this time. There's probably just like a big bonfire and some recreational and some mushrooms and shit.
Praise the trees.
And he's having a wonderful time showing off his newly acquired wolf cloak. And Zunnig has been grounded in the nobles' quarter for trying to get 3 non-nobles into the noble area at the end of last week's adventure, and he is being punished by his parents for being a naughty boy. You guys are in the Copper Coin Tavern.
Oh, shut up.
Your regular haunt in the city. It's been 2.5 weeks since the successful rescue of the young lord. It took a little while for the story to spread. There was some misinformation. Ardagundus spread the rumor that he did it all himself to raise awareness about himself, but he also did that and then promptly left the city to head off for the capital to capitalize on this unintentional as everything is that I do, to capitalize on his newfound fame and success by getting more lucrative contracts in the richer city. But the rumors have now spread how you guys assisted him and actually did the majority of the work.
All of it, basically.
Yeah,
All the goddamn work.
All of it.
We sourced the laxatives, we poisoned the food, we killed the dog.
Indeed, yes. And you also killed Nessus, which was the big thing.
Oh yeah.
The dog was the big thing.
Just no. Shh. What are you just talking? Shh. So, I don't need that anymore. So you guys have incurred some living expenses from living in the city for 2.5 weeks, which I trust you will take care of. And you guys are currently very busy tapping away at your tablets and your phones and their characters, as you can see, because they are currently shopping their little black guts out. Now that they have some money to actually spend after a successful jaunt.
For that. Yeah, of course.
I mean, it was just the fact that you found the telescope and sold it. It's not really actually.
Yeah.
But you guys, so after 2.5 weeks, you guys now do have a good rep. You guys are known as people who get things done. Unfortunately, a lot of jobs are passing you by because you are known as people who get things done in the city. So if people need something doing in the city and they can't go to the guards, some of them do come to you. You've had a couple of people come to you, but it's been really small fry shit, and you guys have either not done it or done it, and it's taken you several days, and you've earned like 2 gold, but it's just been really not worth it. You guys have just been like, oh yeah, this is our life now. Hooray!
Yeah, I can live for another week.
You know, there's not really a lot happening. But something that is of interest, that is very exciting, is that Lennart, you received a letter.
Ooh.
Are you lodging at the Copper Coin Inn, or are you still roughing it on the streets? Or have you just bought a nicer cardboard box?
I've kind of just
One that's not wet.
it improved my...
A wooden crate. He lives in a wooden crate now.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah.
Moving up in the world.
So as you went back to your wooden crate, which is now slightly higher up on the street, so it's less prone to being slightly flooding when it rains and stuff like that. Attached to the outside of your crate is a letter, and it's addressed to Lennart. I assume you open the letter. You've been hanging out at the pub all day for awaiting jobs and looking for jobs and stuff. So
Yeah.
you come back to your crate. And,
I will open my missive.
It says, "Greetings, Lennart. Thank you for informing me of Nessus's activities, and extra thanks for taking care of the matter before I had to step in.
Ooh.
Signed, Mr. Swift."
Ooh.
And there is in the letter a blackened coin, a copper piece that has been basically sort of put in a candle, so it's covered in, it's got charcoal in it, so it's a black coin.
Put that back in an envelope, fold it up in a pocket somewhere.
Oh, sorry. P.S. If you ever have need of me, I now owe you a favour. Feel free to contact me again.
Trade coin for favour.
I look forward to our relationship continuing in the future.
Ooh. That worked out.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So that's fun.
Mm.
I don't see this
that.
backfiring at all.
Totally no.
Couldn't possibly.
So, you guys go shopping, and you have a certain amount of time to kill in the city.
Ooh.
So you guys.
Camera, why? Keep
Right.
going. I will fix the things.
Okay. Technical issues.
Again.
Because we're using old camera.
So, Sam, as you can see the map, and you're currently
Yes.
engaging. You've been shopping. You've bought yourself some extra equipment and things and majigs.
Majigs. I definitely got some majigs.
You got some jigs and the things and bonuses and extras. Excellent. So you've been shopping. You've is there while you're having this, let's call it downtime, because that's the D&D parlance. Is there any particular location within the city you would particularly like to go and visit, or explore, or thing?
Or things. I'd like to do
He would like to go and thing a
Ooh,
thing.
thing. Huh.
Thing a thing. I have to read all the map and put on the shit story.
Yes, you do.
You
I didn't
absolute
even notice that last
fucker.
time. Huh.
And you fucking
I'm worried that you didn't point directly at yourself, but sort of above yourself there.
Well, it's not my fault. It's his fault.
We're all
Things
sane
and
here.
Things. There's definitely things.
Oh, are we? I didn't realise that was a condition. I'll go. Sorry, Sam. Where do you want to go?
No, I definitely thought of things. Sure.
Say the things.
Well, if you don't, you don't, and we'll just go to the adventure. It's all right. I just thought.
I know, but there's so much to this map that we should have probably thought about looking at.
Yeah, but at the same time, you didn't care because it's just a 3-week one-shot kind of thing. It's a 3-week throwaway shits and giggles campaign.
Oh, fine. Let's just go wander. I'll be wandering around.
Boy Pete, for fuck's sake.
Let's
It's
call
not
it
really-
whatever that district is. Is it?
Which district?
Is it? No. Wherever the holy stuff is.
The Isle of the Gods. E.
That's
Isle of the
E.
Gods.
Oh, there it is. I was like, ah, yes. I'll just be walking around there, probably just looking at the shrines and praying to them.
How much were Pooh Boy Pig's laxatives, by the way? 'Cause I can't remember. Was it 1 gold?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Oh. He has more.
Sure.
Yes. I'll just walk around each shrine, and just pray to each one as appropriate.
Okay. So
Paying respect.
I'll do a quick run through of the gods for you then.
Okay.
So there is the sanctuary of Fultus.
Mhm.
Fultus is a sun god. That's why you can see the temple sort of face east.
Yeah.
Because the rising sun, that kind of thing. The orientation is very important of that temple. It's got those towers with lots of stained glass in. So when the sun rises in the morning, the temple lights up very beautifully. The main time of worship is the morning. Fultus is not only a sun god, but he's also a god of law. It's very appropriate for a city where you have very kind of like where there are lots of rules and stuff. So law is that's why he's a prominent deity here. But he's fairly basic deity. He's a sun god, really.
Basic.
He's quite basic. And so then we've got the 28, the Church of Colcoran. You can see it's a circle because it's a coin. Colcoran is a god of merchants and trade, which is very fitting when you have an entire part of your city called the Merchants District, the Merchants Quarter. So obviously he is highly worshipped here, and that's why his temple is where it is, because it's the merchants cross the bridge and just go straight into the merchant god's temple, basically. Then you got the temple of Reorx. Reorx is he is a dwarven god in that he always looks dwarven, but he's mainly a god of like construction and craftsmanship. Interestingly, he's actually chaotic. He's got a little. It's not the main aspect of him, but one of the aspects is gambling. He quite likes gambling. So again, in a big city, gambling, that kind of thing. But also again, but that's not really what this temple focuses on. It's more the artisans part of it, and it's more the construction, the building, and the forges and stuff. So then we've got the Temple of Timora. My drawing got a bit wonky here. It's supposed to be a horseshoe because she's a luck deity. So it's not supposed to be a big capital C. It's supposed to be more of a horseshoe.
Or U, depending on how you're looking at it. Yeah. Okay.
Because she's a luck deity, and I didn't really want to draw a temple like a 4-leaf clover. So she is luck and fortune. Interestingly, the 5th temple is the temple the cathedral? The Cathedral of Tikissis. Yeah. So Tikissis.
Windy.
You guys might not know who Tikissis is, but if I said the word Tiamat, Tikissis is Tiamat from another plane, but so it's from a different world,
right?
But she's got a different name in a different world. What's interesting about Tikissis is she's still big into dragons and stuff, and she still can appear as a 5-headed dragon, but she much prefers to appear as like a beautiful seductress. She's much more about politics and power and that kind of thing.
The mass evil.
Yeah, so she's from the Dragonlance setting. It's a whole, but in this case, what she actually is she is like a power broker. That's why she's in here, because but she's also evil. But again, that's accepted here to a certain degree, because again, she's lawful. As long as she's lawful, she's it's more that she is selfish. You go to her when you want something for yourself.
Right.
And what you offer her is the power. So the reason that that's why she's like shunted down at the end of the island. But it's also it's also why they have a big temple there because the nobles built it. The nobles go there fairly often. Well, some of them do. So it's but all the buildings there are very beautiful. There are residential houses in there for like groundskeepers and people who just do the day-to-day business, and the priests obviously live in the temple and stuff. But yeah, it's very beautiful there. It's very serene, and even down by the Temple of Tikissis, it's very. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's very beautiful and awesome and lovely. It's a very nice place, especially compared to like the slums and an old town, that kind of thing, which really just. I mean, even the merchants' quarters, even the merchant quarter compared to this place is a shithole. It's really lovely here.
That would be a good morning, just walking around.
Yeah. Again, of interest, the Bridge 25, the Noble Bridge, is heavily guarded on the Isle of the Gods End.
Yeah,
so that they don't let anyone on the bridge unless you've got a noble thing, like when you tried to get in the gate last week.
No, that's expected.
Makes sense.
So Lenny, what you anything you want to go and have a look at? Anything you want to go and do to make this world a little bit more real for everyone? Because there's only two of you, we've got plenty of fucking time. This will take like 5 minutes, this question.
Oh, well, obviously I'm going to the shitatorium, which...
That's his name.
Whereabouts? I'm guessing it's possibly in section A? Possibly?
No, it's probably either in C or G.
Oh, okay, alright, shitatorium.
I think I'm probably in G.
Probably in G. I probably have spent quite a bit of time at Pooh Boy Pete's, because I mean he has a house of some form.
Yeah.
So I probably like couch surfed there a bit.
Okay, yeah.
Keeping my toes in the world. Not
sure.
like that though.
Okay, Sam, make me a religion check.
Me?
Yeah. For being in the religious places.
Ooh.
That's a number.
That is a number. Oh, I didn't actually take any.
Again, if it's an alchemical symbol, I'm going to be really confused what dice he's rolling.
Well, 16.
I mean,
16.
That's a poppy.
Technically, mine do have symbols on them for the 20. But yeah, 16.
16. You feel closer to your celestial origins, and so I'm gonna give you this week. You can add a circumstantial +5 onto any one roll you wish to.
Ooh, thank you.
So you spend a lot of time at this tutorium.
No.
Me and
no, and also Sam, make me a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh.
Wisdom saving throw.
Yes.
Not using the same die. Ooh.
No, I'm not. That is
Big enough.
14.
14. Okay. So you only lose 10 gold.
Okay.
As most of the vendors of religious bric-a-brac /tact who inhabit the Isle of the Gods.
Yeah.
Only one of them manages to convince you to buy a religious item that is made of cheap paste and doesn't actually do anything religious. But you were feeling so euphoric and close to your deity that you did succumb to one vendor and you bought and you spent 10 gold. So in this story,
+5 to
make me
anything.
make me a
halfling special.
a persuasion or something.
Was this to any attack or spell?
Any roll.
Any
Why
roll
did I
you
not
want.
pick
So attack, saving throw, ability check, damage,
Okay.
even damage. Just
Oh,
add
cool.
5 onto anything you want. 5. Okay.
Fuck that die.
Make me a con save.
Oh yeah, because you're in Smelly Town.
Because you're in the house of shit.
the house that shit built.
The House of Feces.
20 total.
20. Okay. So you do stay there, but think the relationship with Pooh Boy Pete does start becoming a little bit strained. Not in that way.
He's always a bit strained.
Why did you choose those words?
He brought this on to you.
It's all his fault.
It's my favourite NPC.
What, my brain?
Yes, it is now. Speak to us, Robsbury.
Yes, so he has the relationship becomes a little bit strange. You are you're aware that you are no longer getting mates rates after a while, and so you retreat back to the crate / the copper coin as your primary sort of place to hang out and chill.
Yeah, that seems fair.
But you do and
I've just been doing odd jobs for him as I was there.
Yeah, but I mean, and you do have to spend 5 gold on water for dehydration purposes and so on and so forth. But because you had a good constitution saving throw, you never got too dehydrated. You knew how much shit powder to ingest to not leave yourself too.
Like a crack house to make you have the shits.
Yeah, like I said, blacked out heroin, but just
I don't know.
without like the withdrawal symptoms. You just shit yourself.
They're all is for the shits and giggles.
It's you might want to try bilactive adamantine really quickly. This is all just like feeding off from that, and it's not going well.
No. I mean, this is like the first like few scenes of Train Spotting, just without the like withdrawal symptoms and shoving stuff up your ass.
So 2.5 weeks after the events of the last session, you guys are in the Copper Coin Tavern. It is mid-morning. People are some people are coming in for tea and whatever, and you guys are sitting there, waiting for some people coming in and buying you drinks because they know who you are, and some people are sort of approaching you with little kind of odd jobs to do, but again you're ignoring them and going, yeah, it's not
you
really
need a cat out of a tree. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nope.
Can you help? I've lost my dog. Can you help me find my? You're like, just put a poster up, man. It's a dog.
So it's the market.
Yeah. Here's a list of all the kebab shops,
that was kind of where I was going.
Mostly insensitive.
When I said search markets and like that, it's butchers.
Yeah. It's Firefly, isn't it? When it says good dogs, and then it pans down and just frying meat.
Yeah.
The dog's bollocks. Literally.
That's definitely the best butchers you can find in town.
So, at this point though, someone comes in who doesn't normally frequent the Copper Coin, and she comes in with a retinue. 4 members of the Lion Guard come in, accompanied by their captain, the fifth member of the Lion Guard, and you know her to be Captain Arian. She is an elf. She is young, and if you guys want to make a history check on her to see what you know about her and that kind of thing, or any check you want to make on her particularly. But history was kind of like, we used nat 20 on Captain Arian.
Yeah.
9.
Woo! Okay. Just 20 in total, but alright.
So Captain Arian, so Lenny, sorry. Got to call you Lenny.
Look at the ponies.
So I'm George.
Wake up.
Look at
no,
the puppy.
Stop,
Look at the
stop,
puppy.
stop.
Oh no.
Side tracking, side questing. No.
No.
It was tangent. That's what we do. We shout tangent.
We were reading the book. We're reading of Mice and Men.
God, that book.
That book. Anyway.
So Captain Arian, she's young, she's capable, she's competent. You know that she's second in command of the Northern Barracks. So she is high ranking in the Lion Guard. Ki Yang, you have your ear closer to the street than Lenny, and you are, well, Lenny literally has his ear closer to the street, but you are aware of other rumours and other talk because there are circles that you move in naturally, especially if you're just walking, whereas an urchin does not know these things.
No, I walk around.
You know that Captain Arian is the daughter of Sir Ishan. Sir Ishan is the commander of the Lion Guard. So Captain Arian has been promoted, but a lot of people are kind of like, well, yeah, she's his daughter though, so of course she was going to get promoted, kind of thing. You know, nepotism. But at the same time, she is known to be actually quite good at her job.
Okay.
So the 4 guards kind of take up station around the entrance kind of thing, and the 4 guards are just like looking around. Where she walks in, and she's very.
Mr. President. I mean, that happens, and I'm like, where's the exit?
Captain Arian walks in, just literally scans the room once. Her eyes fix on you two, and she there's a little bit of a frown because she was expecting 4, and there's only 2 of you. But she still clocks you and comes straight over to you, and she doesn't. And you can see the guy at the bar kind of goes, okay. He just completely.
I'm just like, wait.
Just
Clean your hair a bit.
You haven't got prestidigitation, but you're cleaning him with a cat.
Okay, no, I would be like.
Yeah, something goes.
Clicking.
I'm not.
She sits down and she goes, I understand you helped out with that rescue. That is you, right?
That was us.
Excellent.
No comment.
This is not interrogation. I'm here to hire you.
Oh, yes.
You know who she is, right?
Yes.
My
That's
name is
why
Captain
I said no
Arian.
comment.
I'm sure you know that. You've been in town long enough. Okay. I'm coming to you for help because there have been a series of murders. And these murders are unusual and we have no leads. So I'm coming to you for help.
Within town?
The murders have occurred within the city, yes.
When?
For the past, hang on, I need to just get it exactly right. I only started reading it today. There have been 7 murders over the past 6 nights. I'm coming to you for help because there were 2 murders last night. Whoever's doing this is accelerating, and they were able to commit to 2 murders in one night. So I'm now suspecting there is a group.
Yes. Definitely not just one person, unless it was the same household.
No, the 2 murders were far apart.
Other side of the city.
Before I go into details, you are willing to help me on this?
Are we being paid?
Yes.
Yes.
You know, it's probably better than
That's all
any
you
job
need to
that
know?
we've got recently, and yeah, we can't have people dying around town.
Okay. She goes into a pouch and she pulls out a roll of 4 bits of paper, but she takes 2 of them, puts them back, and she puts 2 bits of paper in front of you. They are contracts.
Mm-hmm.
You will be, when you upon signing this contract, you will be officially made essentially deputies of the Lion Guard. The contract lasts as long as Captain Arian says it lasts, and you will be paid. I think it's 10 gold a day. But she doesn't. But she is like, I want this done as soon as possible.
Yeah, of course.
You know.
Oh, so do I actually.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You
don't.
He remains quiet.
You don't, of course.
Shoot the eyes. Shoot the
Yeah.
eyes.
Okay.
So you sign the contract?
Oh yeah. Wait. Hold on.
I don't have anything to write with. Just sort of like, you know, like as a kid signing, like,
Squiggly lines.
Text. Yeah.
basic.
Just. There you go. I don't know. I just did something.
That looks like a legit signature.
I just did randomly. Not yeah.
So that's what Sam's signature looks like. I just need to
It's-
keep this.
Really not.
Isn't it Ki Yang's signature technically? Never mind. You both sign the
this is-
contracts eventually.
I would
Okay.
never be able to recreate that.
Upon signing them, she takes the contracts back, rolls them up, puts them back in her bag, and then she takes out 2. I'm going to call them badges. Essentially, they are Yeah, they're sort of 4-starred badges with a circle around them. They look a bit like the U.S. Marshals badge, if you know what that looks like. And you are told to pin them on your sort of chest, your breast. If you can, I assume underneath your cloak on your leather armor or whatever.
Inside of the cloak.
Yeah.
And you can now flash that badge and you can get into the noble quarter.
Oh,
rescue!
Because you are now lion guard. You can go wherever you want.
Yeah,
but she's going to take them back where no, he doesn't sign the contract. He's not here,
No.
so he can't get out of the house.
that's why we're going there. We're going there to break him out of the house.
So you can do it.
Don't blame Blake John out because he's not fucking here. Leave him in the fucking.
We're grounded. He just come along.
Can we get past page 1? Come on, man.
I don't know, can we?
So, she says, okay, if you're ready to go, I'm going to take you to the site of the first murder.
Ooh.
Well, the not the first murder, but the
Most recent?
the one of the murders that happened last night.
Okay.
If you'd like to come with me.
Sure. We're all done.
You finish what you're doing. She stands up and she starts moving. You two follow with her, and the 4 guards sort of seeing her go out. 2 of the guards just actually go out the door sort of ahead of her, and 2 of the guards sort of wait and you to go through. The 4 guards are there is a male half-orc, a human female, a gnome male, and a dwarf female. Just you haven't got names yet, but if it comes up, it comes up. But they all look different, and they're all easily identifiable.
Cool.
So, she starts heading. West. That's the direction. She starts heading west and southwest, on a path that you have taken, that you're quite familiar with, Kiyang, because she's basically walking towards the Isle of the Gods.
Yeah,
right now.
You come from there.
Yeah, well, you've spent some days there during your downtime.
Yes.
It's not. So you cross the Great Span Bridge. Sorry, the Golden Arch Bridge, which is it's a very nice single span, very very beautiful bridge. And she starts heading to the Temple of Reorx. And as she's walking along, she says, "Right, we know all these murders are linked because of the way people are dying."
Oh, and that is?
When these people appear to be killed in the spot, and where we find them, they are killed there, and we find them face down, and they are left to bleed into the ground. Each victim was cut from palm to palm. So palm.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
To
I was going to say that's not that unusual.
And then they are left face down, arms spread in, and that is where they are killed, and that is how they are killed, and that is how they are left. So we know all these murders are linked because that's how they're dying.
And no one's heard anything? Because that hurt.
We have no. There have been no. We haven't found any credible witnesses, and we haven't found. And there's been no. There's been. I mean, we've increased patrols. But because the murders are happening all over the place, it's been difficult to know what's going on and what we haven't discerned a pattern yet.
Was it the wounds made by a knife or a weapon?
A blade, yes.
And they're the only wounds? They weren't done afterwards?
Yes, those are the only wounds that we find. But we're not able to determine that they may have been killed by other means. There are magical means of killing people. There are other things to kill people. That's why we didn't find all of you, but if there were 2 that I could find of your group that I would to help me with this, I'm glad it's you 2. arcane leanings. That might help in the investigation because I haven't. I've obviously contacted the Zafir Academy, but they are
engaged.
They are reticent to get involved in Lion Guard business. I'm not sure whether that's just because they're waiting till. I'm not sure they're waiting till the count has to. The count has to go personally to them and beg them to help, or if they're just playing politics, but they're not helping at the moment.
Do you know anyone there?
What, from Meiji?
Yes, Zafir Academy.
Do I? Probably I doubt it. I'm a singer after all.
Have you? Yeah, I mean, it's not really your.
No, that's what I was thinking.
It's not your
my forte.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
I can give you sailors and ships.
I don't know. It's worth asking.
Yeah.
You might.
It's not the docks. It's not the Isle of the Gods. It's not really. You're a bit hesitant to go over there.
Yeah.
It's a bit book learning over there. It's one of their buildings is the huge effing library.
I don't do book learning. I just go, give me power, please.
Yes.
And, oh God.
Yeah. you like shortcut easy routes to power, like making deals with a patron.
Yo, celestial dude up there. I don't know who you are. You're one of those celestial things, but please, I'm healing.
I might be a unicorn, you never know.
The first thing was like unicorn because what's in the book where it says that, but it could be.
Oh no, I've got lots of celestials in here.
There's a whole bunch of celestials it could be.
It's fine.
Is that Time of Foes?
Creature Codex.
Such a good book.
For reasons.
And
Such a tome, an absolute tome.
Anyway, so yes. You arrive at the Temple of Reorgs, and there is a sort of there is a patch of grass on the actual temple grounds. Stakes have been driven into the ground, and kind of temporary fencing has been put up to kind of stop people walking onto the actual scene of the murder.
yeah.
But there is a big patch of blood-soaked earth. There is currently no body there. The body's already been removed.
Okay.
For obvious reasons.
Yeah.
There is a there is a dwarf standing nearby who is dressed in the robes, in the vestments of Reorgs.
Right.
So he is
a priest or.
Yeah, it's robes, but he's also wearing he's actually wearing a helmet, and he's actually wearing like metal pauldron because Reorgs is a god of like the forge and stuff, so that it's ceremonial armor. It's not really practical because a lot of his body is exposed with robes, and you can just stab straight through the robes. Yeah. But the armor, there is an armor aspect to the ceremonial garb. Okay. And he's standing there, and he's kind of wringing his hands, and he looks very kind of concerned about the whole thing. There are some other guards standing around, and the four guards who are kind of your escort in a way, kind of see the other guards and kind of exchange like nods and some punches, some shoulder punches and stuff, and some generally like sort of toxic masculinity kind of like bro, what's up, bro, kind of thing. as the meathead guards all greet each other with a certain. Even the little gnome, even the little gnome is like, sup, kind of thing, and he's even for a gnome he's pretty ripped, but nice. And again, Captain Arian stands out and is distinct in that she does not really engage in this. She's much more concerned about the crime scene, and she kind of goes, right, this is where we found him. He was the groundskeeper here. We assumed that he was. We assumed that he was just out walking the grounds for whatever reason he was last night when he was found and attacked. So this is the scene of the crime. Is there anything that you can see that we've missed?
Well, because I bought it and because Rob kind of said it and it was just funny anyway, I'd end up buying a magnifying glass. So
sure.
Not that it's gonna help. I will try and search for clues.
Yes.
As I investigate the crime scene.
Okay.
Yeah, I will.
I don't know what I'm looking for. Just we know how it was done. The blood. I will clean the blood afterwards, but I want to investigate it first.
Okay.
Any tracks
Okay, so investigation
Yeah.
and survival.
19.
19.
Ooh, I rolled a 19, but I got 22.
22.
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah, look at the book.
Magnifying glass, not bad. It helped.
Definitely not. You know, you need a magnifying glass to look at
Precise.
blood on grass
Yes.
and stakes.
Yes, definitely.
Stakes. I mean, how do you hammer a chunk of meat into the ground? I don't know.
Does your character legit
This
think
is
that?
my happy face.
Does he legit think that? Where's your intelligence? It's not bad. Your
Okay,
wisdom's dog
so
shit.
it's so you're tracking. You can see where the halfling walked towards this spot. He was pottering around. He wasn't walking any clear, definitive pattern. He was just moving around. Clearly, he was just
Out in.
He was just out in the night or in the early evening or whenever it was that the actual murder took place, and he was just doing a bit of gardening because that's what he does. He was tending the grounds. He was very obviously fastidious. You as he gets near the crime scene, you can see that there are obviously signs of struggle. There are but it's only the halfling's tracks that you can see. You can't see any other tracks. But the halfling was obviously trying to defend himself and move around, and then he was killed in this spot and placed down on the ground. There are no other tracks. There is no other sign of anyone else. But clearly there was another party involved. But they have somehow hidden their movements and their tracks. Possibly something flying, but it's possibly something. So maybe they were flying. Maybe they've passed without a trace. Maybe they've levitated. Maybe there are options here. But whoever it is, they are aware that they might leave tracks, and they have find a way to cover them. But there is an entity. There is something here that was struggling with the halfling, and then killed the halfling. Investigating. Something that has been dropped on the ground here is a coin. And the coin, you pick it up and it just looks like a coin, and then you turn the other side and one side of it is blackened. So the other side has been.
One side of it is.
One side of it is blackened. So maybe both sides are blackened, but then in the struggle, it got
And
cleaned off.
is the grass like what was that? Is there like a dew on the grass? Maybe like that might have.
No, it's probably burned off by this point.
But potentially it had been.
Yeah,
Okay.
or potentially it got dropped and then got stepped on or whatever, and then it's been wiped clean. So it's half blackened, half not blackened.
You seen this? That's definitely not right. Why is it? If I scratch it, does it come off?
Yeah. What have you found?
Huh?
What have you found?
Oh, well, half a coin is blackened. Does that mean anything to you? The other isn't.
Have you heard of the Black Coins?
I can't say I have.
They're a thieves guild. They're the town's thieves guild. I
kind of just like look over to my colleague quickly. I'm like, no.
I'll pursue that lead, but it just doesn't fit for me.
They wouldn't do this.
Oh, they kill people, yes, but this is
Too organised, precise.
He's a groundskeeper.
It's the first sign. It's the first sign of them we found, and I can't say much about their organisation definitively, but they have no presence here. This is the Isle of the Gods.
Yeah.
They would not interfere with the gods.
Well,
They could give us the run around, but you can't hide from a deity.
yeah.
well,
Clearly, someone's
their
not
messengers.
worried about a higher power then.
I think this might be a false flag, but I will follow it up as best I can.
Well, you see there, he was walking around doing gardener shit, but here you see he's having a fight with something, but there's no other tracks. So, well, either something was flying or there's somebody using some magic.
Oh, someone could be flying under the influence of magic as well.
So you can. I can't see those tracks, but you.
Oh yeah, definitely there. And then look, it's heavier, and the grass is moved around, and he's gone back over it again.
Oh, no, you.
I can see that grass has been over, but I don't. I trust you. I can't see it myself, but it's just.
Oh,
his
it's just
tracks.
him.
Okay.
Yeah. Whoever it is, definitely has a good set of skills.
So where's the next one?
Yes, let's proceed. And she kind of gives a little hand signal, and the four guards sort of fall in, and you leave the.
Is it right outside the temple?
It's very close to the temple.
Right,
yes,
okay.
it's on the. It's literally as you look at the map. It's just to the if you were to mark it on the map, it would be just to the north of the temple itself. So it's very close to the temple.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
But it is also kind of it is also in line with the Bridge of the Dead kind of thing.
Right.
That's just
Coincidence.
yeah. I mean, as much as you want to read into that, you read into that as much as you want.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Well, we're.
Are the buildings just low-lying kind of buildings?
Yeah.
It's temples are the ones that stand out the most within this quarter.
Yes, the other buildings are generally in little clumps here and there, sort of, and they're very much sort of just ancillary sort of service. But they're little terraced housing for people who just live and work here, but who aren't actually ordained in any of the various temples. So they have to have their sort of essentially off-site accommodation. It's groundskeepers, it's cooks, it's cleaners, it's the odd job people that you need to make a large building function properly, but who don't actually get to be
Living in the golden
holy.
palace.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes the acolytes are made to do that work, but it's more kind of punishment for them kind of thing. if they go out drinking or whatever when they're not supposed to on a fast day or whatever, or they
Naughty, you will sweep the floors.
Yes. Or they go, oh look, I'm going to take some money out of the pool box and go and buy myself a whore. Because priests never do that though.
Of course not.
Why would they do that? Never.
Catholic Church.
I
we just got banned from YouTube.
Demonetized.
Yeah.
Pope says no. Okay.
Oh,
Edit that out, it's fine.
We won.
No one watches it anyway, it's fine. So, you head off the site of the seventh murder.
Oh fuck. Wrong idea.
You now cross the Bridge of the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
You are aware that Captain Arian doesn't give an F that you're crossing the Bridge of the Dead, but that the female dwarf guard and the half-orc guard are somewhat do express a slight hesitation, a slight anxiety about crossing the Bridge of the Dead, just because
of the name.
Because it's called the Bridge of the Dead. Yeah. But Captain Arian, leads and strides confidently across the bridge. You guys follow, and you guys don't give a rib.
No.
So you skirt the noble quarter. You do actually pass by City Hall, and you walk through Crystal Wick Square, and you guys are heading towards the Zafir Academy.
And we're rapidly trying to find the
So
things.
you've crossed 37. You skirt the noble quarter. You go past 33, and you walk through 20.
Ching, thank you.
Oh.
I was going
Because you're heading towards 18, 17, 16, the Zafir Academy buildings.
Cool.
So it's not directly outside the Zafir Academy, but it's close enough that you are aware that there is a very tall female elf wearing long arcane robes of with a certain amount of like sort of gold threading and gold trim. So she's obviously someone relatively important, and she doesn't stink like shit. So she's obviously upper class. She's posh, and she is and her robes are blue, dark blue, like the colour Zaffa.
Oh.
Because she's from the Zaffa Academy, and she is standing by the crime scene in the same way that the dwarven priest of Riot was standing by the crime scene on his temple grounds. So this is close enough to the Zaffa Academy that someone from the Zaffa Academy has come to stand here and be like, okay, if I can be, sure, it's nothing to do with us. We're on this. Here's his giant list of alibis for everyone in the academy. Go fuck yourself.
This is our annual piss off night. It's fine.
Yeah.
Now that makes me suspicious.
So this crime scene is slightly larger because at the previous crime scene it was a halfling who was killed. At this crime scene it is a human who has been killed. So the arms of a halfling are not as large as the arms of a human. So this crime scene is physically bigger because he's bled into more of the ground.
He has more blood in him.
But these are the cobbled streets of the city. So again, the blood hasn't bled in. The blood has sort of seeped between the cobbles, and it's kind of it's a nasty crime scene. It's they are taking the body away. The body's being led away in a cart. They have been slightly. This wasn't found immediately because this is a sort of alley.
How far has the blood spread?
Make a medicine check, I suppose.
Damn.
They're not good.
6.
6.
That's your wisdom coming into play there.
Yeah. You're a humman, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
You're a humman. Hummans have lots of blood, so there's quite a lot of blood here because
There's quite a
humans
lot.
have lots of blood.
Cool. He was probably alive then. Yeah.
And when they get cut from all the way to there, there's quite a lot of wound for the blood to escape from.
Yeah.
So there's quite a lot of blood seeping out onto the cobbles and shit. Because 6.
Yeah.
I can't give you a lot for 6. 6
is
not
fucking useless.
6 is fucking useless. Yeah.
I think he was probably alive when they did that then.
I concur. 6 is fucking useless in most D&D scenarios.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so she uses this crime scene. Are you investigating again?
I will investigate
And are you tracking again?
Yes, that makes sense.
Okay.
Oh.
Investigation.
Investigation.
9.
This year.
9.
17.
17.
Ah.
This is much less clear because, unlike on the grassy garden, where you can quite clearly see grass being bent and imprints in mud, this is cobbles, and you're a bit like,
There's
do
blood.
any of these
There's
cobbles
blood.
move?
Does any of them open a secret door somewhere? Oh.
You are now terribly convinced that whatever this thing is, it's fucking flying because there's no tracks in the ground here.
Definitely flying.
But as you investigate, you are aware that there is a smear to the blood. This indicates that rather than being cut and being placed on the ground deliberately, the body has been cut and dragged, which means it is not entirely concurrent with the modus operandi that you have currently been. At this point, Columbo would definitely stop and go, "Wait a minute," and definitely come back to the crime scene and be like, "Hang on, this is a clue. This is a thing. This is a."
I will mark it with a star.
Captain Arian, this one doesn't tie up with the other murders that you've described to us. This person hasn't died here on this spot and been face down. If you can see, it looks like the body is being dragged, as that blood has smeared across the cobblestone. So,
I already had my doubts about this one because this one doesn't fit. Because the person who was killed here was a merchant, so he had no business being
what is he
here
doing
last night.
this far?
Yeah, he should be. He has a house in the merchant's quarter. So how he got here
Is
is
this technically part of C, right? Artisan's quarter?
It's,
yeah.
Kind of?
Oh,
Oh,
C.
F. Okay, it's a bit of both, yeah.
It's
He's far out.
it's technically not big enough to be its own area, but
Mm.
this is kind of Zafir Academy territory,
Yeah.
basically.
It's gonna go like that. And
I wonder what he was a merchant. So unless he was
Yes, he specialised in
Buying-
cloth.
buying from the Zafir Academy, I don't know.
Where'd you get
We
your
did not
robes
purchase
from?
from him.
No?
Oh.
Okay. Thank you.
Says the elf,
Yeah.
butting in.
Yeah.
No,
No, that's fine, that's cool.
Inside check.
Okay. It's fair. I didn't think about
Ooh,
doing
it's
that, so I won't
contested.
do it.
11.
Yeah, she's telling the truth.
Cool.
Yeah.
Charisma is not her forte.
Do we know if he had any family that we could speak to? I don't
Yes,
know.
he's got a wife, and we know where he lived, so I can take you to their house.
Yeah, but, it might be a lead. She might know about if he had any people that didn't like him. I don't know.
Yes, let's go. Let's go and see him.
Uh,
If we're done here.
Other than that, can't
Yep.
see anything else.
Yeah. I've got nothing.
No.
Okay. So you guys spend another sort of half an hour walking across the city.
Yeah.
This time you go back across the river via the Great Bridge rather than going
Yeah,
back
so-
across the Eye of the Gods because it's closer.
Yeah.
So you're now you do go. It's you kind of it's kind of off near the wall. Not sort of it's beyond halfway on that first span of wall between the first two towers
Oh,
of that top wall.
So not quite the north gate,
not,
yes,
it's
okay.
not quite to the north gate, but it's along those lines. So that's where the house is that she leads you to.
Okay.
It's a nice house. It's not one of the larger houses here, but it's not one of the smaller houses. It's the some of you notice that some of the paint is peeling though, which is slightly out of place in this part of the neighbourhood because it's possibly a subtle indicator that there's on slightly hard times at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But because everyone around here is like, oh, my paint is getting slightly old, immediately repaint.
Yeah.
Because merchants and
Yeah,
keep up
yeah,
appearances
gotta
and
keep
so on
up
and
the
so forth.
appearances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Middle class snobbery, etc., etc., etc.
Bouquet.
Class war. With shotguns, sure.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Class war with votes. I don't know. Fucking sidetracked again.
You're welcome.
Captain Aaron goes and knocks on the door,
Mhm.
and a human woman answers the door, and something is immediately apparent and obvious about this woman.
Oh.
She has a black eye.
Just one black eye.
As in she's been.
As in
punched
she's
in the
been
face.
punched and really hard in the face. Not
Yeah,
she
sure.
has
I was
an eye,
like,
not that
you
she
never know, man. It's
It is
magic
D&D.
shit.
It is D&D.
D&D.
It is D&D.
When I say you gotta clarify
You're
that.
all like, someone decked her one? Good.
Someone just got punched in the face, or somene's just weird, creepy, spooky.
I actually played last night, and this exact thing happened because the DM said, "Oh, so there's 4 of them, but she's not really taking. She's just floating behind them." And I went, "When you say floating, do you mean how high off the ground,
Yeah.
or is she just like
So
not
she's just
taking
there.
a firm position yet?" And she was like, "Oh, I just mean the second one. She's
Yeah.
not actually." I was like, "It's D&D. I'm just checking." So
You gotta
exactly,
check.
simple little things in language like black eyes. Suddenly you're like,
Wait.
does that mean a black orb, or does that mean like punch? It's like she has been punched hard in the face.
Oh.
She seems startled, but she doesn't recognise you guys, obviously.
Well,
But
yeah.
Good.
you don't recognise her.
No, obviously.
But she recognises Captain Arian and goes, "Oh, Captain Arian, please come in." And she invites you in. The 4 guards stay outside, but you enter with Captain Arian. You are shown into a sort of parlour room kind of thing. There are some.
Does anything look sort of out of place, or like there may have been altercation in the property?
Perception check.
Ooh, that's a number.
I probably should do the
19.
same.
19. Don't mind saying you don't need to. Yeah, you are looking. You are like, well, black eye. Something's happened here. Something's not right. There is a on the as in the entrance hall on the ground there is a patch of ground which is lighter, so as in there was something there that's been moved, and you can see a little glimmer of light flashing off a tiny shard of glass. So there was something there, and obviously it's been moved recently because of the pattern of dust on the floor, which someone has not yet had chance to hide, because maybe they're not thinking clearly because they were very emotional at the time because someone punched them in the fucking face. So you get in through the parlour, and Captain Arian says,
She says, meh.
She talks
I'm
in
trying to find a name. I've got lots of
Simlish.
names. There's been lots of murders. I've got lots of names that you guys haven't asked about.
You've got lots of corpses.
Yes, I've got lots of named corpses.
Some of them are still walking.
So Aaron sits down and says, Kalea, has someone been in contact with you and told you what's happened to your husband? And she goes, well, he didn't come home last night.
Oh.
He didn't come home last night. What's happened?
Inside check.
Yeah.
Ah! Well, I'll take it. 19.
19.
Oh, you bugger. That was so close.
I fucked up that roll so hard.
That was 9.
9.
Yeah, not so good.
You can't read her at this time.
Shocking, okay.
Yeah. Apparently, when I'm doing these one-shots that don't count for anything and we're filming them, I roll like a fucking genius.
Yeah.
No other time do my dice ever show me numbers this high. Ever.
You're like, I forgot that was on the dice.
Yeah. I was like,
The number goes above 2.
1 and 9. What's that mean? What's that make? Oh my god, 19 on the dice. Wow. So yeah, so you can't read her at this time. Arian tells her what happened to her husband, Molson. Molson was murdered over by the Zafra Academy, and she asks Kalea, Kalela, what happened? What? Why did I write such a stupidly hard name to pronounce for this one shot? Doesn't
Your brain,
matter.
man, your brain.
Fuck you.
Yeah, I tell my brain that all the time.
I'm just gonna say it's Kalea now. It's Kalea. Fuck that second L.
That's how
Fuck
you.
that second
That's how
L.
you began
Kalea.
it. So that's how.
That's a lot easier.
Yeah, Kalea. She tells Kalea what happened, and Kalea starts sort of going, oh dear, oh no.
Is the acting that bad?
Like, is she crying?
No, she's better than that. She does start. She doesn't cry. She doesn't tear up.
Okay.
But again, shock takes people different ways.
Yes.
So,
Yes, true.
but she does it. She does go. Oh, she covers her mouth, and she's and she's kind of she's going. Oh no, and she's kind of looking around.
If
a
she
bit.
covers her mouth, any defensive wounds on her knuckles or any like red on her underneath her fingernails?
Yeah, no, she does have bruising on her hand.
Good
Yes.
observation, detective.
Yeah, it's that funny thing. His character's a moron, but he's actually like, oh no, I'm a detective. I watch detective shows. I know what's
I
going
love
on
it,
here."
Columbo.
Clues.
There's always clues.
One of my housemates at uni did forensic science.
Okay, yeah.
So it's like, oh, look for the clues.
I should be better at this. I played LA Noire. That's about detective. Mate, that game is something else. It's great. You really have to be observant of things.
So it must have been awful.
Yeah, it's difficult.
So Arian continues to sort of ask her why was he there last night? Where was he going? What was he doing? Kalea sort of says, well, I don't know. He just left to go and he just said he was going to the pub. I don't know which tavern he went to, but if he was over in that area, I assume he was heading over to the Sleeping Bear or something. But if you say he got all the way over to Zafra Academy when he was attacked and killed, then
Where was that one though that you just mentioned?
Sleeping Bear.
Sleeping Bear is 19.
Oh,
It's
okay. It's
sort
not
of
too
nearby.
far. Okay. Kalea, may I ask, why do you have a black eye? Who did this to you?
Oh, well, you know, unfortunately, accidents do happen, and I just haven't been to. You caught me unprepared. I haven't put any makeup on today, and I haven't been able to get to the Eye of the Gods to have a cleric just heal it for me. So it was an accident.
I'm going to insight that.
Something to do with that vase by the door?
18.
18. You can read her.
Ooh.
She is lying.
Mm-hmm.
Dun dun dun.
Oh.
The obvious shoe has dropped. Yeah.
the glass shattered. Ching! Oh no, she's like definitely. Okay. How? What was the accident?
Did it involve a glass vase by your door?
Oh, the table, the front. Yes, I tripped on the stairs. I didn't fall completely, but I was able to recover myself. But I did. My head did crash into that table, and that's how I got this black eye.
Okay. Wait, just before
So the table is broken,
carry
so
on. I'll make it like blatantly obvious, but it's funny because I'm just gonna pretend I'm just winding you up. I'm just gonna like kind of point my finger to his head and cast message because you have to point your finger. Unfortunately, I'm just kind of just like wind you up. Maybe stick it in your ear because it's funny, but cast message and going. She's lying in her ass, by the way.
I just turned to him.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
And Arian, who's not been looking too suddenly, just goes, "What?"
Okay.
And she goes, and Arian actually goes, Kalea, I've seen people fall over and hit themselves. I've seen bruises. I don't think that's a bruise you get from falling over and hitting your head on a table. I don't want to have to force you. I want you to tell me the truth now, please, about what's been going on here in the house. And Kalea fails her charisma saving throw, and she cracks. And so now the tears do come, and she starts crying, and she says, "Well, business hasn't been going well, and he's been taking it out on me. He was hitting me, and last night I couldn't take it anymore, and he hit me, and I lashed out."
But he did leave alive.
No. I killed him in the kitchen with my knife. I stabbed him in the back. But I have heard about these people gossip. I've heard about these murders, so I put him on our cart, I covered him up, and I took him over the bridge, and I dumped him in an alleyway far away from here. And I tried to make it look like one of those murders that's been happening. And Arian actually kind of Arian sort of puts her face in her hands and kind of goes.
Yeah. Oh fucking hell! Why'd you do that?
Okay.
Shall I get one of them?
No. Kalea, I'm going to have to arrest you and charge you, but I will speak on your behalf that it was self-defense, and he was that kind of thing. But you are going to be charged with, interfering with the cover-up. I'm afraid that's going to have to be taken into account. if you'd like to come with us, Claire, but if there's anything you'd like to gather to take with you,
I have
anything you
a
need to do
question
to...
for her, if you don't mind.
Certainly, that's why you're here.
Arian, Claire, what else do you know about these murders, should we say?
Oh, only just what I heard the guards talking about in the market.
Have you seen any activity at all? You know, suspicious activity recently in regards to them or not?
No, I've
Just from word of mouth.
yes, no, I don't even. I just assumed that it was either going to be the wizards or some sort of priest who was doing this murders, because it sounded like a ritual of something. The way people are being cut up. So I just thought dump them near the wizards, and that'll put suspicion on the wizards, and no one will think to come to me. But I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry. Yeah. So she completely breaks down this point. It's very it's kind of distressing, because it's in a way in a way she has committed a murder, and she's further compounded the crime by covering it up in a way that's really fucked up your investigation and taking you on a whole big tangent that is totally pointless and doesn't actually relate to the actual other main crimes that's going on. And this whole thing's been a diversion, but there is also the sympathy of her husband was beating the shit out of her on a regular basis, and she obviously was so there's a certain amount of she's a criminal, but she's also a victim, and it's one of those real sort of you can see Arian looks pissed, but she doesn't. But when she speaks to Kalea, she's obviously very sympathetic. She's very kind. She's very professional. But she is also like, I'm arresting you and charging you and so on and so forth.
But it's been a waste of time as well, almost.
Yeah, but you can see that there is a tension there. There is something that's angered her, and as she steps outside, you can see her vent it, and she vents it at the fore outside, because as Kalea has said, she heard about this because the guards were talking about it.
Yeah, they shouldn't have been.
Yeah, and so Arian is pissed that the guard at the other members of the Lion Guard, basically, and so she says, she's kind of like she says, Gull, Shellin. And you see the gnome and the dwarf kind of like snap to attention, and she goes, escort her to the barracks and put her in a cell. I've charged her with murder, but treat her kindly and gently, okay? And you kind of see them a bit like, oh, okay, yeah, and you see Kayla being escorted away.
Cool.
And Captain Arian takes about 5 minutes to just go around the property and make sure the windows are locked and the doors are locked and that kind of thing, and everything's barred up. And she takes the time to secure the property, and then she comes back to you two, and she appears a bit deflated, because she's a bit like, I thought we had a lead there, and now it's not a lead.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Likewise. So maybe the wizards.
And so now it's getting on flight. So she says, right, well, should we go and get some lunch, or?
Yeah.
Kalea definitely had a good point to make, though, that it looked like maybe it was a ritual. I'd not considered that. It does look very ritual-like and sacrificial almost.
So we now got 7.
Well, but you saw Grasdan. Grasdan was looking at the murder scene, and he didn't seem to.
May not have been him.
At the temple of Reorx, he made no mention of rituals or anything like that. So, if this is some sort of if this is what these murders are, then it's very unclear as to what's happening. Anyway, we'll go and get lunch at the Copper Coin, but it might be worth, while we're here, if we go over to the Quindrix Jewelers by the market, number 9.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go to Quindrick's Jewelers because that's where the second murder took place. We can have a look at that scene.
Very close by.
But of course,
Sounds
that's I'm not sure we'll find anything because it's obviously at this point it's 5 days old.
Mm.
But
Any lead is good.
yeah, we may as well go and have a look at it. And so
Good with that?
you guys start heading off in that direction.
Whilst we're going, I'm gonna try and subtly have a look and see if there's anyone following us or taking particular interest.
Sure. Perception check.
Oh, that's not totally awful. 13.
13. Yes, there is someone following you. They appear to be a young halfling. They are keeping to the shadows, but they're also just trying to blend in with the crowd at appropriate moments and that kind of thing. And they're just keeping an eye on you. But make a history check. Something along those lines.
Dear.
No, that's
Throw
5.
dice.
5. Okay. So yeah, it's as far as you're aware, it's just there is a halfling just keeping an eye on you, or keeping an eye on Captain Arian.
Mhm.
You're not 100% sure, but on the group that is now just the 5 of you.
Yeah.
Cool.
They might be keeping an eye on the half orc and the human, but it's doubtful because they're just guards.
Yeah. Cool. I'll keep that one to myself for the moment.
Fair enough. So you head up to Quindrick's Jewelers. She shows you the crime scene. It's not on the market side. It's on the other side. It's on the side of the jewelers away from the market. If you want to mark it on your map.
Is the market the dashed lines?
Yes, those
Yeah.
are the market stalls. Yes. Because my drawing is excellent.
It works.
Yeah.
It works because that's
It
what I
works,
thought they were.
yeah. Yeah. So it's that's where the murder was. So that did happen in the street, but because this is the commercial area of the district, at night this place is again mostly really abandoned. There are patrols that patrol the area, but they're mostly just keeping an eye and make sure there's no obvious burglaries going on. And if you can get during the night, obviously, if you can get the timing right, there's plenty of time to kill someone in the middle of the street or whatever. So she tells you a bit about the murder. So the person who was killed was a gnome male called Trowning. Spelled however you want to write Trowning, but it's pronounced Trowning.
Guessing the way drowning is
He was an apprentice gem cutter. He worked at Quindrick's. And so it looks like this crime scene looked like it was basically an opportunity. He basically walked out of Quindrick's into the murderer, and the murderer killed him in that way. There was no, again, it fit the MO very well. Cut from palm to palm, face down in the street, bled out onto the street. But again, there's no signs of there were no obvious clues left there. There's nothing.
Was the shop shut?
So according to Quindrick herself, according to Quindrick herself, sorry, she left Trowning there because he was working on a piece and he didn't want to leave it till it was finished.
Okay.
He was fastidiously cutting a gem, and so he was left there Wednesday evening. He was the last person there. Everything else was locked up. It was just the back door that he was going to leave by, and he walked out the back door, walked into whatever this person or thing or whatever it is, and he was then killed. Quindrick was very upset. Everyone who worked in the shop had an alibi though. Quindrick's got a house in the merchant's quarter, and Quindrick has got a family, and Quindrick's got an alibi. So the other people who work in the shop similarly also have houses and families and alibis and or flatmates and whatever. And again, at this this was the second murder. This was the second of the murders that happened. So it was confusing. There wasn't obviously a pattern here, and this was the first one. This murder was the first one that Captain Arian attended personally, because the first murder occurred in the Noble District. So Captain Arian, being in charge of the North Barracks, wasn't called to that one. So.
And the piece wasn't missing.
The
piece that.
No. He left it in the shop. He finished it.
Okay.
He walked out the shop. He actually locked the shop. And his keys were still on his belt.
Okay.
And nothing is taken off any of these people. They are just killed.
They're a name.
Yeah. They're just killed in this, and it's the thing that links these murders is the fact that nothing is stolen, and it's the very, one might say, ritualistic way these people are killed.
Just bled out.
Yep.
Alright, lunch then.
Yeah, lunch. Perhaps maybe we have to visit the Noble Quarter. I don't know. So the first one happened.
Or we can go after lunch. So you go to lunch. You have a nice lunch. Well, during lunch, the gnome and dwarf come back from taking her to prison.
Yep.
And they those four sit at a separate table and eat, and you sit with Captain Arian. It's the first time you've seen Captain Arian relax. She doesn't drink with her lunch. She drinks water, but she doesn't drink alcohol. But you guys can order whatever you normally would, wines or beers or whatever.
Probably have water.
Yeah, whatever you want. But Captain Arian doesn't really have a lot of small talk, so it's a fairly quiet lunch.
That's fair.
She does appear to be sort of just like working things out and just sitting there silently cogitating while she is digesting, and you guys are there for sort of an hour because ordering and whatever. And Arian pays for the food and she pays for everything.
I mean, the first one's got to be the key.
Gotta be.
So I mean,
Well, we've not seen it, Noble Quarter.
Well,
I'd like
yeah,
to
I
see
mean,
it.
you-
Sounds selfish, but I'd like to see what it's
Well,
like inside there, and
well,
we
no
might as
one
well
can get in.
investigate.
I mean,
Yeah. And
You've never been in the Noble Quarter before.
I can't. I've
Okay.
never had access, so I'm not allowed.
that
Follow
room's
the
gone.
rules. You know, one of our compatriots, he's actually a noble himself. You know, he's allowed in, but he's sadly not allowed to leave the house today.
Well, we won't be going over near House Clythe or Cleith,
Yeah.
whatever how you pronounce it.
But
Even though I wrote it down.
yeah,
Sure. Let's.
maybe the first one does have the key, like you said.
Well, it's the most hard to get to.
It is,
I mean,
and yeah, this person
It
or
did.
thing.
It did happen on grass. It happened on Earth. So maybe
Okay.
we can find tracks and things. Even though
It's
it is
about like how old though?
6 days.
It's 6 days old now, so
it's
yeah,
going to be hard.
it's gonna be. That's what she said. So
But you know, it's still
it's
still better than anything else.
It's
So
the
yes,
only
let's,
clues we've got.
let's head there. Yes. Do you guys want to do a break, or should we just carry on?
I'm good at it.
Either way.
Okay, just carry on. So you head you head towards the Noble Quarter. You go via the Great Arch or the Golden Arch.
Okay.
And then you walk up to the guards, and they give you a look, but you're with Captain Arian.
Yeah.
So for the first time in your lives, the guards guarding the Noble Bridge just stand to one side and let you through.
We're like,
Champion!
we're like, no, okay, this
It's just like,
well, Weird.
And you guys step onto the Noble Bridge and you walk across it.
And it falls apart.
Mhm.
Dumb shit
And
to
you,
see.
and you guys I don't know what you were expecting. Maybe it's like you know, it doesn't smell posh or anything. it's just a bridge across the river. It's one of the nicer bridges.
It's
but,
clean.
But it's you are aware that actually the Great Arch, that really pretty, very beautiful golden bridge, is actually a nicer bridge than this one.
Yeah.
But this is just the Noble Bridge, so because
It's the
of
privilege.
where it goes to, this is heavily guarded and no one's allowed on here ever. So there's
We take our time going across the bridge. We're like, look how good it looks.
okay, and,
No.
and as you slow
No,
down,
no.
Arian stops, gets a bit ahead of you, then stops and turns and goes, "What are you? Come on!"
So how
sorry.
many guards do we pass on the bridge?
There
that two and
are normally 5 guards at the end of the bridge.
Is that both ends or
Each end?
what?
Yeah.
No, just the end on the Isle of Gods.
Oh right, quite a bit. How is this?
As we catch up with her,
I'm thinking, how is someone?
is it 5 at night as well? And on the gate,
How many gates are there actually from the other city end? Not
it's
which
just the one.
Is it just one?
Just 34.
Oh, it is just. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that is just the only gate, and then it's a bridge. So.
Yeah.
How are they?
Yay! You guys are doing proper investigating and working things out and shit. Yeah.
I was just waiting for us to get to number
Yeah,
1.
yeah. How are we?
Hence the reason I was like, let's check out number 1. It must be the kid.
So, yes, if they're flying, you'd easily get in, no problem. Especially
Okay,
at
so,
night time, they're not going to see you.
Arian was. It turns out Arian was trying to tell you about the murder, but you guys were dawdling, going,
Yeah.
"We're on the Noble Bridge."
Mm-hmm.
And so she was just talking to the air
Yeah.
for several strides, as then she turned around to make a point, and you guys were like going, "Noble Bridge, so exciting." And so you now catch her up. She
Yes.
goes, "Right."
Sorry.
As I was trying to tell you,
Yes.
this first murder was a young halfling girl by the name of Hanil. She was a maid to Lady Severin. So she was. So the murder took place on the Severin grounds.
Was that
That's,
name like in this somewhere?
Yes.
It is, isn't it? House 36.
Yep, 36.
Oh, it's right. Okay.
Well done, Sam. Well found.
But we've not been there. We've not. No, we don't even know.
No.
Well, yeah.
So
Just ain't no
you
family.
come off the Noble Bridge and you turn south.
Okay.
You walk past number 24, and he's not visible, but that's the house where the young noble lives that you saved. House number 24 in that big mansion.
Whatever the name is, yeah, Aratos.
So that there are 2 types of building here.
Mhm.
There are the big mansions and there are the towers.
Oh.
The towers look like essentially sort of very posh wizards' towers.
Mhm.
Because these are families who are noble, but they also have arcane heritage. So you head to number 36. You head to the
Question, DM.
yes.
The walls on your map.
Yours.
The circles in the walls, are they manned?
They are towers.
Are they
yes.
manned towers?
Yeah.
Cool.
Although, because you guys are now looking for this, and you guys are like, well, it happened in the Noble Quarter. How did they get in?
Yes.
You guys are now looking at the walls as you're going around. You're aware that there are guards standing on the towers, standing on the walls, but they are very lackadaisical. This is the easy shift
Yeah.
because.
And I imagine they probably mostly look out rather
what's
than
the
look
effing
in.
What's the effing point of guarding this interior wall when no one's attacking the outer wall? Why do we
Yeah.
have to defend this inner wall? It's just because the nobles are dicks and want to keep the riffraff out.
Yeah.
So if you are assigned guard duty there, you just generally go, oh, cool. I'm going to fall asleep. Okay. Yeah.
However,
I'm guarding.
I
Look at
presume
that. I'm
they're,
still guarding so
because
hard.
the only looking from the river way,
Yeah.
the only guards really is on each end of the bridge and the 2 towers at the end. I think
Yeah.
it's just a wall, or it just goes into a bank, and that's it. There's no one manning the river, is there?
The banks of the
Yeah.
Noble Quarter River are unguarded. Yes.
There we go. Okay. And that house is right on it.
Yeah. So, some sort of flying shark is your number one suspect right now.
Flying sea monster.
It's Cthulhu.
Oh, his tentacle just goes.
Is this the one? Is this?
Uh oh.
Hang on.
Uh-oh. Oh, fuck.
No, I just remember the creature that's in here that is Devil shark.
Devil shark. Yeah.
Devil shark.
I was just thinking of the devil shark.
Yeah, I've used it. It's amazing.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So she was talking. So you were describing the scenery. Sorry.
Yeah. So
Towers,
so
wizards'
these
towers stuff.
so yeah. So they look like wizards' towers, but they're much sort of wider and fatter. Indeed, if you actually look at the map, they're of a similar scale to number 16, which is the Grand Tower. That is an oversized wizard's tower because it's deliberately built to be an oversized big grand wizard's tower because it's trying to be ostentatious and show, look how much power I have. Look at my gigantic phallic symbol of a building I live in. You know.
I live in a dick.
So, well, I thought it was a box. So these towers are big and they're ornate, but they are functional buildings. But they are just to say our family has arcane heritage.
Yes.
So Lady Severin's house does not have. It's not a tower. It is just a mansion. The murder happened on the grounds here. It's kind of to the southeast of the building.
So between the
36
mansion
and 35,
wall.
yeah.
Oh,
No. Sort of between 36 and 35. Southeast, not southwest, southeast. Oh, no, southwest, sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah.
if
No,
we're looking at it as
yeah,
if
no,
north,
I can't do
south,
directions.
east,
Cool, okay.
I get left and right confused, apparently I get east and west confused as well. I'm really
They are
bad at this.
basically the same thing.
Yeah. So bad at this.
Okay,
No, I'm a great DM.
southwest.
Everyone loves me. So yeah, so that's where the murder took place. And it was it's a young halfling maid. So Captain Arian sort of kind of looks. She says that Lady Severin was questioned, as were some members of the staff, but again nothing suspicious here. But Arian does said, but I am coming here for the first time myself. So if you guys want to do some questioning and talk to some people, I'm okay with that because I'd like to see some answers myself.
Yeah, so should we... is this the only murder that happened in Noble Quarter?
Yes.
It was the first one.
Who did question it?
Sir Isham,
Oh.
the commander of the Lion Guard. That's Sam. That's the guy you know. So that just
Yeah, no, it's like, yeah, that's your
I'm
father. It's
just-
like, definitely isn't your father. I'm not going to question your father. No way.
So she does because you're professional. She doesn't say dad. She
No.
says Sir Isham.
Yeah, no.
When she says
I know.
commander, I'm just like, no. Do not want.
Quick finger point. That's your dad.
Do not want. Do not want. Do not want.
Message.
Oh,
No.
the you left the halfling behind at a very obvious point where he cannot get beyond.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You look over the bridge and you're like, yeah. So,
Although, as you look at him, there is a snorkel determining whether he can come back.
Get that halfling.
kill him! It's the halfling, the dodgy halfling. So,
Haven't you heard? All halflings dodgy in my
yes, they are, Rob.
Especially when Rob's involved.
Even when you're playing them as well, they're dodgy.
Especially when you're playing them.
Yeah, it's fair. I can't argue with that. He's
Yeah,
dodgy
you're
as
trying to
fuck.
make an excuse for it. So,
No, he's just dodgy as fucking me up nothing. Cool.
So maybe unless it was someone that has noble access committed the murder first and then left, or someone that's just extremely skilled and can get in without anyone noticing.
We have to be very careful if we're gonna.
Of course, if you're going to accuse a noble.
If we're going to accuse a noble, we have to be.
I'll say there's three ways.
I'm just
someone that
throwing
lives
things out
here,
there.
someone that works here, or someone that can swim/fly over the walls, round the walls.
So I presume.
Arian looks around, and she leans into both of you, and she beckons you in.
Okay, yeah.
You both get close
yes.
and tight in.
Yeah.
She says, "We can't rule out the Lion Guard." And then she backs away from you, and she just
What?
Lives here, works here, can fly over or around the walls.
Or it's a shark. No.
I did earlier say it might be the guards.
Yeah.
To her.
So you kind of get the impression that when Captain Arian hears about a murder, she goes, "Well, where was I? Oh, so I'm innocent. Okay, everyone else is a fucking suspect."
That's the right way of doing things.
Yeah.
And she goes, "No, I was drunk that night. I'm still a suspect.
I may have murdered him.
I have a sword. I carry a sword around. I've been trained to use it. I'm perfectly capable of fucking someone up. You know?
Am I covered in blood? No, I think I'm okay.
Like you know, there is a certain amount of like she's overthinking. She's overdoing it because she's in the shadow of her father, who is everyone says is like always a great.
And also, it's a
gentleman.
serial killer, so.
Killed by Crunchy Nut Cheerios. Or other.
Who do you want to talk to first?
Well, we have to go and ask permission to view the murder scene from Lady Severin. That's the.
Let's do that first then.
Yeah.
So
you
go
know
in-
what to do, like.
Yeah, so Captain Arian, so you're aware that the four guards are kind of a bit like and sort of hanging back, and they go nowhere near the door as Captain Arian quite confidently strides up and just goes boom 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 on the big knocker on the door.
Open up.
Big knockers, hey. The door. Oh, our two viewers just turned off.
I thought I might turn them on.
Oh,
Just by saying the word knocker.
This one's all about kids.
Hey man, Baps. Oh, you lined them up.
Watermelons,
Oh.
bosoms. How many other words are there? There's plenty. Kahunas.
The door opens and you're greeted by a human male
Ah,
who says who goes, "Ah, Captain Arian, are you here to revisit the scene? We don't often see you here." And she goes, "Yes, I'm just here to ask permission from her ladyship to see the murder scene with my two new investigators, if that's if she'll allow us to do that." And he smiles and says, I'm sure she will, but I'm sure she'll like to come and say hello, and I'll just go and get her." And he's kind of like, he turns and he leaves and closes. He closes the door. Doesn't invite you
of course,
in.
he does posh things. He's like, you're not coming in or looking. You need my house.
He's the servant, I think.
Yeah, I know.
I think.
I mean, he was pretty
Butler.
pretty poshly done.
Maybe.
He looked pretty posh, but at the same time, he was definitely dressed in like a sort of
He was a
uniform.
butler,
He's
probably.
butler.
He's
The butler done it.
He's the butler. Dun dun dun.
All right, we can finish there. The butler done it.
Hey Rob, hey.
Yeah, we can all go home. Thanks for watching. The butler did it because I'm that fucking basic.
You're basic.
You did say it was basic earlier.
Fucking hell.
If it turns out to be the butler.
I'm gonna. It's gonna be so
I
funny.
bought the creature codex because it's the fucking butler.
He's a doppelganger.
Yeah. Jesus. I wouldn't need the cat for the doppelganger. You're making me squeak. You're making me squeak. Okay.
Right.
The door opens. And there is obviously Lady Severin, because she's wearing a very, very expensive attire, and her hair's all like done properly, and makeups and stuff. Both of you make nature check.
Nature.
Oh,
That's a
I'm
new
gonna
one.
have something in.
Oh, hello. Nature.
14.
14.
Yes.
18.
18. I should have given you advantage, but 18's fine. You get it.
Oh, okay.
Because she's a Triton.
Oh.
Oh,
And you know that because rivers and shit. And you're a sailor. And
well, yeah.
you
Water genocide, so they're close
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah. You're all about water and aqua and
Oh,
boats.
she's a
and-
Triton.
Yeah, she's a Triton.
Oh, interesting. You don't
So
see many of them.
she immediately kind of like gives just before Captain Aaron can say a word, she just gives you a nod. Triton to water
I
genocide.
was gonna say, I'm just like,
oh.
it's very rare to see
And so Captain Aaron
Triton these days.
yes, so
I'm
Captain
honoured.
Aaron says, can we view the site? And she says, oh yes, poor Hannah. Please, just go through the gate to the side, and if there's anything you need, please just I will send Justin out to attend you, and if there's anything you need, but if you don't mind, you're the investigators. Can your guards stay out the front? Lady Arian and Captain Arian's kind of goes, yes, sure.
Including her?
No, as in the
Oh,
four.
just the four.
The four of them that are standing
Okay.
awkwardly at the front. At
Right.
the front gate.
Yes.
The ones her ladyship might
We can't
refer to
rule
as
out.
the plebs. if they could not sully her magnificent garden with their presence
Yes.
and their big boots. But you actual investigators who need to go and see the crime scene, certainly of course
Yeah.
you can go in. So you go through the side gate, and the Mr. Butler man comes out and stands sort of in attendance. He doesn't want to get too close though. He does seem upset to be, having to be near the crime scene again, because obviously being a servant and her being a servant, they obviously knew each other, and so this is where she was butchered and stuffed on the ground, and it's all a bit. He's obviously kind of
Too close to
traumatized.
home.
He's a little bit traumatized. Whereas again, Captain Arian is like striding over and kind of, she doesn't get too close to it, but she goes, "This is exactly where it happened."
Let's investigate again.
Yeah.
Do our thing.
You can see a certain readiness to the mud, but again, it's been 6 days, so survival investigation. Is
Yeah.
that what we're doing again?
Yeah.
So was
So
this?
the magnifying glass gets cracked out,
Yeah, I don't.
and Mr. Mudgrass goes.
So this was actually within their complex. It's like in their garden, essentially.
Yes. The border to this garden. Sounds
Hey,
well.
that
Well,
20's
he
in.
made a happy squeak. The border to this garden is a sort of large, tall, like hedgerow.
Yeah.
Because you don't need to have a big tall fence in here, because this is the noble quarter. It's already got a gigantic
Yeah.
defensive wall. You don't, and just noble to noble, you don't need a big heavy fence. So the Rams garden is just
It's more
just a hedge.
decorative.
Yeah,
I got
because
a
it's just a beautifying border rather than
Ooh. 15.
15
23.
and 23. Holy fuck.
That's why my.
Ooh.
I was like, is that a 1? No, that's the symbol. That's the 20.
That's the worst.
So good. Yeah.
Okay. So in terms of your investigation, there is nothing, and you make doubly certain there is nothing of interest here left.
Yeah.
There is a lot of blood, as with all these scenes, but it's seeped into the earth, and it just means the mud's a slightly different colour in this part of the garden to the other part of the garden. There has been some rain the last couple of days, so even the grass is just back to being green. There is no sort of permanent.
Wash away a bit.
Yeah, the mud is still stained, but everything in terms of any clues, or there is nothing of interest here. But you and Captain Arian hasn't told you they found anything of interest here in terms, especially like a blackened coin, for example, as you found which you haven't found anywhere else. Which, as Arian said, that doesn't fit. That just seems like someone's trying to fuck with us. And again, you've had the coin, which appears to be someone fucking with you, and you've now had the unfortunate housewife incident, as we can summarise it as, which was a whole red herring kind of thing. But this was the first murder. This is it's quite close to the hedge between the two sort of territories. So, but it is that you can't see any disturbance of the hedge. The hedge appears to be intact. There's no obvious kind of like it doesn't look like anyone's forced their way through the hedge in recent times. So it doesn't look like someone's come from House Everlathil.
Yeah.
The elven lord guy to the other side. In terms of tracks, what's interesting about this, obviously signs of struggle, but from much further away. So she was. I mean, because you follow back and you work it back, and because they've been avoiding this part of the ground, it's not fresh, and you have to work hard. But at the same time, it takes you like a couple of hours to work it all back. but you can see that she was actually just she walked out the house for whatever reason, maybe to throw something away, to just take care of her duties, whatever. And but she was grabbed from outside the house, and she struggled all the way over here, and she wasn't hurt. There's no blood until she gets to this point. This point is the important thing. So she was grabbed over there, taken all the way over here, and then in this spot for very specific purposes was then killed in that specific way. So that is something that's, and as you because you and Arian and Justin the butler, you guys watch as Leonard kind of works his way all the way back to the house, going like, struggling, they're still struggling, and you like walk it through in the same way that like in Lord of the Rings when Aragorn's like walking around going and you're doing that, but you go all the way back and they're like, wow, all the way back to the house. And this is new information. This is Arian's very interested in this. Arian is like, well, yes, this has got ritual all over it. This is screaming ritual because it had to be. Everyone else was grabbed, and then so she was grabbed there, but she was moved to be killed there because that's where she had to be killed.
So what's under here?
Justin goes, nothing. Well, there are some sewers, but there are sewers on this side of town for the artisans' quarter, and
I think we need to go and take a trip
into the sewers. Why? The murder didn't happen up here. There is no. I should show you the access point, and Justin goes over to essentially the manhole. Except in the noble quarter, because they're aware that this is how people can get out. The entrance to the manhole is twofold. There is a long sort of iron pipe where the fumes go up and then go off, so the houses don't stink from the sewer. And then there is a manhole that's literally about that big, in that you can get your arm down it, but you can't. Right. But people can't get in and out because there are access points where people can get down into sewers. But they are further afield, not in the noble quarter, because the noble quarters don't want people coming up out of the ground and fucking with their shit and stealing all their precious things while they're out of town business. Yes.
I know someone that fucks with shit.
Yeah, it's weird.
He's nowhere near him.
No, he better not be now. Maybe it was. Maybe it's him all along.
As you mentioned, I know someone who fucks with my shit. You see Justin go. And guiltily go. Obviously, he knows who you're talking about as well. He has a dark past, or possibly a dark present, or possibly he just likes to shit himself. Who knows? These people are fucking weird.
And then it's come back to poop on Pete.
Oh, it's back.
I didn't think he'd crop up this week. I knew he'd crop up next week, but I was like,
well, we've got to crawling through shit, so Pete's back.
That was a fake one.
So,
there.
Well, I mean,
so
Arian, do we actually have a map of the town? Or did you say that first? Did we get given one?
Arian says the location seems to be the important thing.
Yeah, can she
Let's
mark
go
it
to
out
the barracks.
for us?
I've got a map.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Let's
go.
No, I don't think we did. I can't remember.
So
mark it out on the map.
Let's go.
You go over to the barracks.
Is it on here or not?
I don't think so.
What?
The barracks.
Yeah, the North Barracks.
Yes. Oh, number 4. Is it? Oh no.
It's Traveller's Rest.
13.
13. Yep.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I don't bother reading a thing. I just look where it is in the map and go, yeah, it's that building.
Alright. Cool.
Okay. Congratulations. You now get a second handout.
Ooh. Yeah, we got it. We do it. Well done.
Oh, we have a handout with all of the bodies.
Got it. That's exactly what we need.
You may also need this.
Oh, I was so close with that one.
Oh, now we get to draw lines.
Oh shit, son.
Oh, we get to...
Do you want a red pen to make it official?
Or we could do pencil just in case we.
Yeah, let's do it. Well, we haven't got rubber, so. Yeah, we'll do it in pencil just because. Well,
You get rubber.
Rob has a rubber.
Good throw. Right.
So there was what? So there
Does
was
this
1,
draw a
2, 3.
pentagram?
I thought that as soon as I thought about drawing it up.
No, it does not draw a pentagram.
So 7 of them.
No, so-
You're trying to draw a pentagram, aren't you?
No. So that's
Wait.
it's no.
I am being entirely accurate when I'm saying it doesn't draw a pentagram.
Yeah, so it's not a
Because
point.
there's 7 points, not 5.
Then all the way over there, then there, and then over. Wait,
So
oh,
as
that was
the, as,
fourth.
as the
Oh, then
evening
there.
draws in,
Yeah.
you can ignore the dot over by the Zafra Academy
Yeah.
because that's not
That's a red herring.
the sequence of events is murder 1, murder 2, murder 3, murder 4, murder 5, murder 6. And murder 7. Which I think I fucked up because it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, thank you. Nearly fucked up.
Yeah.
So yes, if one were to draw a line between
Fucking
points 1 and points 2, and then points 2 and points 3, and then points 3 and points 4, and then points 4 and points 5,
Oh my God, you just
points 5 and points 6.
It might as well be a pentagram.
That's so fucking close.
It's so fucking close to a
It's a
pentagram.
7-pointed star, isn't it?
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Look at
then.
that.
And then back again, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And indeed,
Oh.
as you try and find a link between the 6 points
That's right,
and
you
try and
do.
find a reference point between the 6 points, as you work late into the night, a guard comes running in and Grand Harry says there's been a 7th murder, and you guys head out to the slums and you guys go to where point 7 is on the map because I've given you it at the wrong time because I'm not a bad DM,
That's fine.
and you go and see murder 7.
Oh my God.
Awesome.
And it turns out a half-elf
Yeah.
woman has been killed at point 7, and it does fit the MO. She has been killed in exactly the right way.
Yeah.
Fucking ritual, summoning some shit.
What all we need now is an intersecting double diamond in the middle there, and it'll.
So this murder has an extra wrinkle.
Ooh.
Oh.
As you get to the scene, there are a couple of lion guard already there, and one of them has put stakes in the garden behind the little slum building where she was killed. But there's another guard, and he is by a sort of a wood pile, and he is reaching into the wood pile, trying to get something. And so Captain Arian says, "What's going on here? What's happened? The body is still in the ground. The body is still there." Okay. So
Smell anything?
Dead
smell of
body.
anything? Perception check. Do you get advantage for smells? Are you part wolf?
No, but that's
Are
a
you semi-dog?
19.
19. It smells like the slums.
Yeah, I was sort
But,
of
I mean,
like,
but
I was
you've-
kind of going, has there been any magic like the but no, that's cool.
No.
No,
No, there's been no magic here.
random double 19s.
So
There's a spider.
I can see it. It shows up. It's highlighted well against the dark background. I'm not sure it shows up. I think the camera zoomed on it. The little red boxes on the spider. Anyway, that's odd.
Well done, spider.
Yes.
It's come to whisper sweet nothings.
You can talk to spiders? Why the fuck are you making videos in the garage if you can talk to spiders?
Who can't talk to spiders?
Anyway, so the guards tell Captain Arian what's happened. This woman was murdered, and she's been found very quickly, and she's been found early because of the screams of her son.
Hey.
And her son is traumatized, and he has hidden himself in the wood pile.
Ah, okay.
That's who,
right.
and they're trying to get the child out, but they're not having much success because the kid is not in the right frame of mind to obey people who are shouting at him to do things, and the guards are not exactly adept at it. We don't hire the guards for their ability to placate small children and get small
That's,
children to do things. They are hired to look tough and stand there and deter orcs from invading your city.
Arian, sorry, do you mind if we can?
I don't even
have a
bother.
look?
I just
I'll
tap
have a
go.
look.
Out of the way. Out of the way.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Alright, son. Wait. Bloody hell, it's dark in there. Fuck it. I'm gonna try and
Yeah.
get
You,
in.
you can't see.
Let's try and we'll move some of.
Oh, I
the-
can actually, because I have dark vision. Cause
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm a sorcerer with wizards.
Yeah, let's. Yeah, you said it was within logs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
He's in
then
the-
we'll
he's in the
start
wood pile.
moving some of the logs.
Okay.
We can see
So
more of them.
he makes a break for it as he bolts out of the back of the wood pile and bolts for another hiding place.
Mhm.
I assume you guys are fast enough to bring him down
Oh, I
fairly,
hope so.
Just
or
try
catch
and
him.
30
grab him by
yeah.
the shoulder, like, oh, don't,
Right.
wheel, it's alright.
As you bring the kid back, and he is struggling a certain amount. As he comes into the light of the torches that they put round the
Oh,
scene.
yeah, we don't take it back to the body.
Right. Captain Arian exclaims, it's the first time we've heard her swear, she back professional, because on the kid, painted on his forehead, is a red 7-pointed star. And written on the kid's chest, and he has had his tunic ripped off, is the words "help me" in common.
Help me.
Help me and a 7-point star have been drawn on the kid with his mother's blood.
Oh, I was about to say what has been drawn in its in blood. Oh.
Well, it's better than it being cut off.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the kid hasn't actually been. Yeah.
Can I? Oh, that's right. I want to clean that off of him. I'll use prestidigitation to clean that off, because that's
Sure.
No.
Is it really?
That's
Is
wrong.
it?
Arian
Oh, it's like, is it-
has drawn the star.
Is it been done?
Yeah.
Does it look like it's been done with like precision tools or with finger?
A finger.
Finger. How large a finger? So is it someone that is of a larger build, or someone that's got quite skinny fingers?
Oh right.
I would say skinny fingers.
Skinny
Okay.
fingers.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well,
So you're possibly looking for not someone who's had to do hard labour, so they haven't got big strong hands from
Mhm.
doing manual labour. Possibly someone of sort of elven descent, someone of
Yeah.
halfling or gnome descent. You can probably rule out all the dwarves
Yeah.
pretty much, because they generally have big, sort of big old hands.
Chunky fingers.
Yeah. Yeah, or a young human, or a young someone of any other description. But yeah, it's not a claw. It's not a.
yeah.
It hasn't been carved. There's no break. It's just so the kid is obviously not in any position to tell you exactly what's going on.
No.
He is traumatized to all to F. And you guys have no sort of way of really calming him down adequately.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
But-
a cleric has calm emotions.
Yes, indeed. But the 7-pointed star is, shall we say, a corroboration.
Same as what's.
But the help me is. Arian just thinks that's bizarre, and she is like, this is someone is fucking with us with this help
Yes.
me. This is another distraction. We need to find out about 7-pointed star. We need to find out what this is doing, because this is the 7th murder. The star is complete.
I think we need to go see your law master.
Hmm.
Well, we can go and tomorrow we can go and visit the temples, or we can go to the library at the Zafra Academy, or we can go to City Hall and look through records. We can go to the Magistrates Hall, and we can see if there's any record of any other crimes of this type going on. I don't know. I don't know what this means, but
Do we know?
if this is a ritual to make a 7-pointed star, this is a 7th point. So whatever's happened has happened.
Hmm. And
Unless they need to do something else now.
ritually, you
Unless there's
either
something something's going to happen tomorrow night.
Unless
It's gonna
there's one
complete
final
this.
sacrifice
Something might be summoned from it, most likely.
in the middle
Well, then
of
we need to find out how.
the river.
We need to find out how. We need to find out where.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle of the river.
Well,
if
that's
you're
the
looking
centre
at the
point.
map. That's where the centre is, and it's a bit weird. But
does
I didn't want to say it's early. Now it makes sense, but you don't want to accuse anyone. But the first murder was by that Triton's house.
Damn it. Bloody camera.
Something's coming from the water. I don't know. It's just a long shot. Maybe she had something to do with it.
Let's find out what the ritual means and what it does.
That's what I'm saying.
But does this kid have a
We won't accuse anyone yet.
other parent?
No. Unfortunately,
It's the slums, isn't it?
Pania worked at the Fat Pig. Pania was a she was not a member of bar staff.
Oh.
She was a member of she was a member of the upstairs staff.
Oh no, wait.
So she's not married. She has no husband. So we need to find someone to look after the child. But we can.
All right, son. I'll find someone to sleep. I'll look after him for tonight.
Or I'll take him back to the barracks and I'll find someone to. If you haven't been hypnotised by a spider,
Yeah.
I'll find someone tomorrow who can.
Yeah. I think we're
I don't
needed on
think I want him living in the street particularly.
and we're needed on this anyway, so the kid's only going to distract us.
That works too.
Okay. So back to I'm heading back to barracks to get some sleep, and I'll meet you in the copper. I'll meet you at the copper. I'll collect you in the copper coin in the
Yeah,
morning.
I'm gonna spend the night. Can I just sit on the docks on one of the
On one of the keys. Yeah, sure.
it's not, yeah,
Key.
what it's
Key.
called, yeah,
Yeah.
because I don't actually need to sleep, technically,
Okay. Yeah, sure.
because of the thing. I just
So
want to
you-
sit
you-
there and
you
I'm
just
just
wanna
like
step-
just looking around the river. If anything's just weird throughout the night, it's gonna happen.
I mean, you're a water gen, so I can use. Can you breathe underwater?
Yeah, I can.
Do
I
you
could
wanna-
probably.
Do you
no,
want to
well,
go? Do
it's-
you want to go for it? Do you want to jaunt in the river? Do you want to go?
I'll probably do that for a bit, but because
Do you,
technically,
want to, do, you, want, do you want to go for a bit of a swim?
yeah,
Get eaten by a giant
well, I
shark.
could.
Okay.
But technically, the thing is, it has to be light activity when you're actually during your rest as such. So that's
Swimming
I would
a
have to
bit
do.
more than light activity.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I would say in normal circumstances I would let you have a gentle walk,
Mm.
as in you just literally you just walk down into the river, or you just drop in, sink, and then just walk along the bottom. But it's a fairly strong current, so
Yeah,
that's still quite
no,
hard work to
exactly,
not just end up like.
I'll probably have like a
In
small
the
dip, just
sea.
have a look around if there's anything there. But most of it, I'll probably sit on around the dock area, maybe pacing up and down, just looking and.
The docks it's night. The docks it's quiet.
Yeah.
There is no.
And because it's quiet generally, yeah. If something's odd, it should.
I will let you make either an investigation or a perception check.
Okay.
I'm going to make my way back to the copper coin.
Okay.
And as I do, I'm going to double check that I'm not still being followed by a certain halfling.
Would you say perception or investigation?
Oh, that's really
basically.
shit.
With advantage because you know
Oh, yeah.
you know who to look for now.
That's a better number.
Well, yeah, perception or investigation, whichever one.
Well, they're good as each other. It's depending what information I want to try and gather.
Yes.
I will go. It's either a 21.
well, you're there for 8 hours. I'll let you make another roll,
Okay.
whichever
Let's
one
do
you pick.
perception because it's the first. So
Okay. Do you want to make
because-
now? Do you want to make an investigation roll?
So
you're,
first is
you're
21.
looking around, and then you're
Yeah.
kind of so you're looking around to see if there's anything odd, but then you're actually going.
Is
Okay,
that
now
really odd?
that's just me looking. Now I'm going to have a poke and see if I can find
Yeah.
anything odd
So,
in the places where
yeah,
I'm going to go
it's
and have a poke.
21 for perception.
Okay.
For that, I'll roll an investigation check as well. That's dog shit.
Well, that's total dog shit.
That's 6.
That's total poo boy Pete. So, but you have a look around, and nothing strikes you as odd. The docks are quiet. The docks are still. as always, there is some activity. There are just people who just kind of live here. Really, they don't really like to go home. They love the docks too much.
That's fair. Well, I like the sea as well.
And there are people guarding warehouses and so on and so forth, and standing around cargoes and things, waiting for ships to come in and so on and so forth. And people who don't like to be away from their boats and their ships and stuff. So
That's understandable.
you recognise some of them. They're they are people who frequent the river and the city, and they nod and say hello, and somebody you have a chat to, and you might ask them anything going on. They don't see anything, they don't know anything. You then go for a sort of closer inspection rummage with your investigation, and you poke and prod the patient to see if you can make him go, oh yeah, that really hurts, and nothing in the docks is
speaking to you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's no like. There is no suspiciously marked crate with the Ark of the Covenant in it or anything. There's nothing around here that screams to you. I mean,
guys there that's like trying to release the Kraken or something, and like just.
I mean, even you do spot a group of guys, and they are clearly acting shifty around their cargo, but this doesn't seem out of place to you.
No.
This is just people bringing contraband in, trying to keep it under the radar,
Yeah.
and this is not something out of place. This is perfectly. This is the docks. This is where you bring
pirates do
contraband
stuff
in.
like that. People always do.
And this is where dodgy deals go down. And this is, but then
We've probably done some on my ship before.
Yeah,
Gone,
but
sure, you pay us that, we'll get you
sure,
on.
you might even know one of them,
Yeah.
and you're just trying to go, all right, how's the drugs doing,
Yeah.
or whatever, or the illegal whatever it is they're bringing in.
Herring.
Yes, the illegal herring that are so illegal for their herringness.
For being
And,
fermented. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's whatever it's called.
So strong.
And their inability to be sardines. Why don't you get in the can? Get in the fucking can.
He's like, oh, I don't want to get in the can. Wait, you should speak
Okay,
to me? Yes.
Fish, speak to him. Okay.
No.
He's a war gen site. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know
know.
what the fuck they do.
No, they
Why
can't.
not?
We can't, but why not?
Bottom
Anyway,
line is, there's nothing
Nothing.
going on here.
No, that's
You've got-
fine.
You spend the night, but you don't find anything untoward.
Okay, no, I'm good.
15.
15. You think you do. He's being much more careful because he hasn't got crowds to blend into, and he's being very stealthy and he's hiding very well, and he's letting you go much further ahead. But you do kind of you do turn a couple of corners and then kind of wait, and then you do see like a flicker of movement as he like puts his head round, but then whips it back because he's following you.
Mm-hmm.
Probably someone who's like, oi, where'd you get that weird pooey stuff from?
Oh, did you go to Pete's?
Yeah, you're like,
And so
Everyone knows Pete.
it's now the morning.
Mhm.
Captain Arian comes and collects you from the copper coin where you all reconvene early in the morning. So let's call it 9.
okay.
The copper coin's over for breakfast. You guys can get some breakfast if you want. Captain Arian turns up and she's still sort of chewing the last remnants of the apple that she's got.
Camera, please. Anyway.
What?
Yeah.
How can you keep turning off from this beautiful face? Captain Arian basically goes, right, so where do you want to go? This is your world. Where's the best, where do you think the best place to go is to find out about this ritual?
Weird ritual stuff, definitely magic, so
Oh.
some sort of a...
Either the gods or the Zaphos, or somewhere else that you guys know of that I don't.
Well, either the gods would be closer, right?
That's what the map says. Yes.
So let's do that first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. So you go to which temple? Which temple are you hitting up?
You still got that coin?
Would it be in evidence? No.
Yeah, Arian's
She probably would have taken it.
Arian's taken.
You got it with you?
No, it's.
I might have a look at that later.
I thought we agreed that was a misdirect.
Yeah, but he got it from somewhere.
She takes out a coin out of her pouch, takes out a copper, and then she literally just kind of like just goes to one of the torches that's not lit 'cause it's the day, just scrapes some soot off it and just blackens the coin and just goes, this is what they do. That's what they do.
Oh.
And I'm not a member of the guild. And then because it's copper, she just throws it away.
Oh. Are the gods then?
If you think the coin's got something to do with it, then I'm sure. But I'm not sure that they are operative in the noble quarter. It's especially and then definitely not in the Isle of the Gods.
Oh yeah, we'll go to the Isle of the Gods.
So, are you heading to Temple of Reorx, Temple of Kolkoran, Temple of?
Maybe it's
You going to Takhisis?
Maybe it is yeah, whatever her name is.
Takhisis.
Other Tiamat
Other Tiamats.
from different world.
T'other Tiamat. We're going to see T'other Tiamat, are we? Okay. So you go you're going to the Cathedral of Takhisis.
Yes.
Yes.
Why not?
Okay. So again, Arian strides confidently with you, and you guys just walk up to the
I've
temple.
been around there earlier, or the other day.
But again, your escort is back, and again they seem to be fine walking in the Isle of the Gods. But again, as it's clear that you're walking to that one, they're a bit like, and they're a bit like, we'll stay here in case we're being followed. and
Mate, it's totally these four, isn't it?
And so it's
It's these four guards and her.
if this was a film noir investigation, it would be
Maybe
Captain
it's all
Arian.
of us.
Yeah.
Because it's four, her, which is 5, and us 2, 6, 7. We've got it. Maybe we're part of it all along.
He knows too much.
Get a gun.
I'm part of the 7, right? What?
Sorry.
No, anyway.
He's not in the right place. We've got to kill him in the river. Says Captain
Get in the
Arian.
river.
I can
That's why we
swim.
picked him, because he can breathe. We
I'm
can take
the
him
one
out
that
there
can
at any
breathe.
time. Bleed him in the river where we're supposed to.
Anyway.
So you go into the Cathedral of Takhisis.
Kisses. Was it?
Takhisis.
Oh, no, right.
So tak
kisses.
his is.
Okay.
Sibilance.
Yes.
So you are aware that there are quite a few acolytes and people sort of chanting and doing rituals and things. And as you enter, not during a sort of scheduled period of worship, there is quite a lot of sort of turning and whispering and some people go scurrying off, and a figure starts striding towards you who's come from out of the deeper recesses of the temple, and they are wearing long black robes trimmed in gold, with certain decorative symbols on them, with 5 symbols on the chest, 1 red, 1 black that's very hard to see on the black robes, 1 white, 1 green, 1 blue, because
Why not?
you know Tiamat's gonna
Five
Tiamat,
yeah.
even
Five
when
heads.
she's called Takhisis.
Yeah.
And this person is a black dragonborn, which adds to the overall sort of black
Blackness.
creepiness and dragoniness of this
Yeah.
whole thing.
Very shadowy.
And she comes stand before you with her sort of like long dragonborny hair, which is quite really cool. And she goes, "Yes, how can I help you? It's Captain Arian, isn't it?" And Captain Arian goes, "Yeah, we're investigating a ritual that involves using corpses, marking a 7-pointed star with dead people." And you see the black dragonborn go, "And so naturally, it being murder and death, you have come to us. I see. How prejudiced yet accurate."
Is that an admission of guilt?
No.
Just check.
We are part of this city. We would not do anything to harm this city. If someone's performing this ritual and murdering denizens of this city, we find that abhorrent. Obviously. Naturally.
Insight.
You could certainly try.
Fuck it, why not?
It's contested. It's me rolling, so you never know.
Oh, that's Cox.
21?
21.
Oh God. 10? 11.
You can both read her
Oh.
because she's quite happily. She's not hiding anything.
Mhm.
Okay.
So it's mostly the truth.
Mostly.
She is part of this city. This city is her home. If anything bad happens to the city, she doesn't want it because it's bad for her city.
Yeah.
At the same time, when it comes to the whole killing people thing,
She's fine with it.
she's totally fucking fine with that.
Yeah.
She's like,
Yeah.
if I have to, if my God said to me right now, kill these 3 fuckers right now, she'd be like, okay, it's go time. I'm gonna fuck you up.
Dragon breath.
Yeah. Oh, melty, melty, melty.
Someone get the dustpan.
What is it they do? Black? Is it
Acid.
acid damage?
Yeah.
From Black Dragonborns?
Melty, melty, melty.
Slaw. Nom, nom, nom.
So, she's standing there, hands clasped like this, sort of, she says, well, I don't know that specific ritual, but we do have a library here, and you are welcome to peruse it, and I will personally help you with this search as well, to try and find the symbology of what's happening. But the 7-pointed star is unusual. It's but please come with me. And she turns and sort of just seems to sort of like glide off towards the back of the temple. And you do kind of see Arian kind of sort of have a moment, just like, okay. She's like, okay, I've got to go further in. Okay, and there's a little bit of like,
Didn't want to go there.
yeah, there's a little bit of like, oh, I don't want to, but okay. And she kind of, steels herself and she starts moving forward. And I assume you guys just walk with
Mhm.
because you guys are like, yeah, we're big time heroes, we don't give a
Yeah,
third.
yeah.
It's just like, good adventure in life. 2
Be
weeks,
like,
man.
oh, so this is what the inside of this police.
So, long story short, let's everyone roll investigation.
You're waiting.
everyone roll investigation for finding the things in the library.
That's the number I sort of expected.
14.
Okay, 14,
11.
11. Okay. It takes you most of the day. You break for lunch here and you eat with the Takhisis acolytes, and every so often, like Arian says, I'm just going to go let the guards know we're all right, and so every few hours she goes outside to
She
sort of
needs
be
some
like,
fresh air from the
be
inside
like,
of him.
we haven't been sacrificed to the dark deity, don't worry, it's fine, and goes back in. So you dine with the acolytes, and it's very much a case of they're all like dark cloaks and dogs and going. and then you 3 sitting there going like,
Stop.
please don't kill us.
Hey, look at this. I'm shaping water right now.
And orc check.
No, I can just shape water because
yes,
I just
also
suddenly
orc
play
check.
with water. But orc check? Orc check. No, definitely not an orc.
Orcs are like 90% water, it's fine. So
I will shape orcs.
So it takes you most of the day, and eventually, in a book that is, it's actually not like it's not a book specific to rituals or the part of the temple, but it's a book on history.
Oh, history.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it seems that in days of yore, in times forgotten,
Mm-hmm.
there were there were a group of knights, and those group of knights made an enemy of a demon called Neil. As in, you are Neil. Neil. Uber Neil. Neil.
Fuck me. Neil.
It's funny, so I kept the name because it's a funny fucking name.
Who's a demon?
He's a demon called Neil.
God.
Neil. Sorry. Neil.
There were 7 of the knights, and the knights fought Neil and eventually banished him. And so, to bring Neil back, you need to create a 7-pointed star.
Yeah.
Now, what's interesting about Neil is that he is not. He is a demon who will he will grant you he will grant you boons. He will grant you wishes in exchange for helping him. So if there is something you deeply desire, if there's something you really, really want, by summoning Neil, he will, it's an exchange.
Yeah.
And so what seems to be happening here is, so there were 7 knights. During the fight, 4 of the knights were killed. So the next time Neil was summoned, Neil couldn't kill all of the knights. So Neil, when he sought his revenge, he came back and he killed the knights who were still living, but there were 3 knights who were dead because he killed them in the original battle. So he went and found their firstborn, and he killed the firstborn as part of his revenge. However, one of the knights had twins, so there were 8 deaths. So to bring him back, it's a 7-pointed star, but you need 8 deaths. So tonight there is going to be an 8th death. But if we can work out who and why and what's going on, which is going to be a bit of a punt really at this point, especially because we haven't got investigated several of the other deaths, which might have helped, but hey, what are you going to do? And you've been here most of the day, so you've got about 3 hours of fuck. You've got about 3 hours left before it turns into night time, and therefore someone's going to get the shit stabbed out of them.
You don't know where and when.
But
I
it's
need to go trade a favour.
it's almost like I thought this would be a bit hard for just the 2 of you, so I gave you an out.
Yeah. I was like, I'm going to hold on to this until I really need to.
I really need it.
Okie dokie, so.
Oh, we are fucked. Damn. Okay.
So during the course of the day, I'm gonna throw you a bone. During the course of the day, you tell this priestess about the 7-pointed star that has been drawn on the city, and you two posit your theory that the 8th murder is going to happen in the middle. But it's confusing because that would be in the middle of the river.
Yeah.
And she goes, that sounds really unlikely because this is from the way you've described it. She's like, this is a ritual thing. They have to contact the earth, so it has to happen on land.
Oh.
So doing it in the river doesn't make any sense.
No.
Well, no, even then she's like, no, it would still count as the river.
Yeah.
Ritual-wise, that
Yes.
counts as the river. It doesn't, it doesn't count as the earth.
Be anywhere.
Yeah, good.
Maybe it will be on.
So let's see if Arian can work it out. Woohoo! Yeah, cool. Arian has a guess. Arian says, right. If you think about it, the first murder is the origin point. The second murder draws a line between point 1 and point 2.
Yes.
If we work our way across, there is no line between the 7th point and point number 1, because there's nothing that the only thing that guides us from point 7 back to point 1 is the fact that we know that completes the thing. So I think the 8th murder is going to happen where Hanil was murdered. It's going to happen in the noble court. It's going to happen in that garden. That's what she thinks.
Back where it started.
Yeah, because that completes the star. That completes the symbol. That draws that final line.
That's not a bad shout.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't got anything else.
Yeah. Stabbing in the dark here.
Is that a pun?
It is now. It's more
The best
cutting.
puns
It's
are the
more, it's more
unintended puns.
cutting. It's not stabbing.
Yeah.
But we'll take it.
Yeah. But slashing in the dark. No, that's a
Mm-mm.
whole different connotation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could also mean just going for a piss in the dark.
Yeah.
Pissing in the wind.
I'm off for a slash. No, don't. You complete the ritual.
Anyway, well,
So,
let's give us anything else we've got. We might as well head back there.
what do we do? Just fill the place with guards?
Well, we set an ambush.
Well,
And maybe a few others.
if we can persuade Lady Severin to move out or to leave and take her staff with her, then the only people on the grounds are going to be us three and our guards. So if they want to do that, they're going to have to try and take one of us, and we'll be all together in a group. So we will therefore be able to stop them, because if they try and take one of us, who else they have to kill someone in that spot to complete this ritual, to bring the thing
It
back.
could be anyone. Not
Yeah.
the fact that it was a twin. It just has to be any random person.
There's
Yeah. I suppose everyone else is random.
Yeah.
no, there is a connection between two of the victims.
Oh.
Two of the victims were husband and wife, but they're not related.
Hmm.
Even for this town, that's frowned upon. And Arian does look around your surroundings right now and a bit like, look where we're at. This place is fine, and we're in fucking Temple of the Dark Queen.
Mhm.
There's quite a lot of shit in this town that, and also shit.
Yeah.
In and under.
With a peak callback number 15.
He's always there now.
He's everywhere.
It's always lingering.
So it's nearly 10. Let's just so you guys. It's
yes,
night,
we're going with her
night
theory.
falls and you're camped out in that garden, and Lady Severin's fucked off and
Yeah,
taken
that's-
her butler with her and all that shit. Okay.
Trying to ambush them.
Packed up her shit and left. Got kids.
She's gone to the Shishitorium to shit her brains out. Because no one's going to be ritually sacrificed in Pooh Boy Pete's palace of poo. Palace of Pooh, that's a much better name for a place. Shishitorium, what was I thinking?
This is brilliant.
Fuck you, brain.
I don't know, they kind of make donations there, so it's kind of a ritual.
Palace of Pooh. I'm writing that down. Okay.
Oh.
No, I'm not. Okay, no. Wake up.
I
Stop
like
fucking getting distracted by Pooh Boy Pete.
I like Shishitorium.
Right, okay. That's pretty much over. Okay, so...
I think now we need to...
You guys are in the garden. Yeah, I need this book now, pretty much. You guys are in the garden. How are you... So Captain Arian is like, we're going to stay out of sight. She's going to stay near the building. She's going to stay near the building with the two of the guards. What's the bit of paper gone? Captain Arian's going to hold station with Shellin, the dwarf, and with Denaz, the half-orc. And she's going to give you Loabi, the human, and Garl, the gnome. And you guys, she's going to stay near the building, and you guys are going to go near sort of the hedge or like near kind of the wall, and you're going to wait for someone to come into the garden, and whoever comes in, you're going to you're going to then go, haha, we've got
we
you.
can't kill them.
Yeah, you
Well-
can't kill them
Because then they finish the ritual.
But what about
because
the way they've
if
done it?
their
though?
blood goes into the ground,
Yeah, but
you might have a bit more of a problem than just a human. I might have to open the book. No, I mean,
no,
I don't want to open the book, but if you fuck it up, I'm opening the book.
Well, we
So,
can,
that's Captain Arian's plan. Do you guys agree to go with this plan, or do you guys want to hang out somewhere else? Do you guys want to do something else? Do you guys want to take a vantage point from the walls, or vantage point from? Do you guys want to be in the mansion, looking out the windows? What do you guys want to be doing?
I'm okay with that. Can I hide in the hedge?
Can you hide in the hedge? You can certainly try to hide in the hedge. Certainly.
I will attempt to hide in the hedge.
Okay. Do you want the guards to try and hide in the hedge with you? Are all four of you going to hide in the hedge? or are you just going to hide in the hedge next to where they're standing beside the hedge, going like, "Why are you hiding in the hedge, dude? We're right here." I assume you all four want to hide in the hedge.
We could split into two twos.
Yeah, we could do that.
Depends if you want to go somewhere else, that is.
So you two are going to hide in the hedge, and you're going to send the guards back.
Oh
to...
no! I mean, I don't know where you
I'll
want to
send
go.
it. Well, hiding in the hedge is decent, but where else do we hide?
Yeah, maybe we just all four of us go in the hedge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so make your stealth rolls for hiding in the hedge.
Ooh. Yours is probably off.
The guards got +1 dex, but they're wearing chain. No, they're wearing chain shirts. They're wearing chain shirts. That's fine.
24.
24.
21.
21. Okay. So group wise is pretty good because you are with the human and the gnome, and the gnome's pretty small, so his stealth check was 17.
Nice.
Unfortunately, the human, she's a bit big for the hedge because she's not exactly a small girl. They didn't hire her because she's pretty. They hired her because she can rip the fucking ears off of a pig. She got a 7.
Yeah.
But in terms of group check, it's pretty good. It's looking pretty good.
All good.
So, as the night wears on, gets to about midnight, and you guys are feeling pretty tired. The guards, especially, are looking pretty sleepy. You can't imagine Captain Arian. She's been on the go since she was that second murder like 6 days ago. So she must be running on fumes right now. So it's all very quiet. It's all very still. It's not. The house is dark and silent and everything like that. And then movement. There is someone coming into the garden.
Wait.
They are looking around the garden. They are then striding quite confidently, and they're moving straight towards the patch of ground that you know Hanil was killed at.
No one else about that.
No one else is about.
Sacrifice.
And so when he's about, when this shadow, when this shape, not he, didn't say he yet. You don't know it's a he. when this mysterious person you haven't identified.
It's
Who is it?
Is it the halfling?
The halfling. You're saying halfling? Who
no,
you guess?
I reckon it's what's his name? Sir Ishan.
Ooh! Awesome. Okay. No, you're both wrong. Obviously, it's not the halfling. They're about 6 foot tall.
Oh.
But now you know it's 6 foot tall. Do you have another guess? People at home, guess now before it's revealed.
On a postcard. I don't know.
Oh, okay, fair enough. So,
it could be the wizard, I suppose.
We don't know.
you guys haven't. It's really hard to guess who it is. It's really obscure. You had to be able to pick up on things that I don't think you didn't actually encounter them.
Yeah.
it's quite funny.
Who the fuck are you?
Yeah, you are about to say who the fuck are you. But luckily you've got Captain Arian with you who knows who this person is, so she's gonna be like, what the fuck are you in here? So Captain Arian Captain Arian breaks cover and goes, stop right there, and she moves forward with the half orcs.
And that would break cover as well.
Yeah, so you guys break cover, and the half orc and the dwarf light torches, and your human, she lights a torch and she holds it up, and in front of you can see dressed quite finely, but obviously in dark clothing, but it's well made, it's well cut, it's tailored, so rich.
Mm-hmm.
And he's saying he's wearing a cloak, but he's got a dagger at his hip. And he also there is a moment of like being startled, but he's quite quickly sort of just composed and just quite like, oh, and just like looking around, being like, you guys are here. That's kind of odd. Is a half elf. You guys have never seen him before. You guys don't know who this person is.
Who is this person?
But Captain Arian says, Lord Nithrian, of House Evalithil, i.e. the next door neighbours.
You were right.
Oh no, I said this guy.
Oh.
So Voldemort, but it's the guy that's there.
Number 35, yeah.
What a...
I had my suspicions.
You're the murderer.
Someone in the
and he goes, yes.
Taken
Wow.
aback for a moment. I put the laxatives back in my I was planning on if we had to bum rush him and they were going
throwing laxative in his
No,
face.
no, sticking it in his face and forcing him to shit
Oh my
himself out.
God.
Be like, you can't fight when you're shitting yourself.
Because he's not making a move and because he's not doing anything, and because you're all keeping your distance, but you've got him surrounded. And so Captain Harry's just like, what? Are you holding a?
Oh no, because I have my focus out.
All right.
So it's ready for spells. So I'm just like
But you've got nothing held.
nothing prepared. No.
Okay.
I'm just there just in case.
Yeah.
I'm just really confused.
My fingers like this, ready to snap.
And
Just
so
clean
he talks about the murders. He talks about the murders he did. He talks, yes, I dragged the maid over to here. He looks down the patch of ground. Yeah, he takes one step towards it, but just one step. Everyone kind of flips as he moves, and he just goes one step. And kind of just looks at everyone and goes, "It's fine," and just smiles. And then he talks about all the murders he did. So he talks about the second murder. So he was looking around the merchant's quarter looking for someone to find, and then that gnome just walked out the building right in front of him. He was like, "Oh, great!" And he just grabbed him and killed him right there and then. He was like, "I was really lucky. I didn't know. It was amazing." So he's not talking about any of them by name. He mentions Hanel's name because obviously he knows Hanel because she's next door.
Yeah.
But he just says that the gnome just walked out the building, and I killed him. He then talks about the next person he doesn't refer to by name, but he does call her that bitch. And it's the third murder. And it's an elf woman, and he killed her, and he calls her the bitch. He then says, at least he says that the fourth murder, she was old. She was going to die soon anyway. It doesn't really matter. then he says the fifth murder. He was like, well, no, I did wait for him to come out the pub. I was waiting for him, but they were married, so I just thought I'd kill him as well for completion of the thing. He says he did feel bad about the halfling over at the temple. He seemed like a nice person, but what can you do?
Not
Don't
kill
kill
people
them.
to raise a demon.
Yes, but you don't understand. I have to.
Why do you have to?
Do you really want me to explain it to you? Do you really? And Captain Arian goes, I would like to explain it to me, please.
Yeah. Why do you want to summon a demon? Yeah, Neil.
I'm sure. I am of elven blood, and humans and dwarves have their place, but there are just so many outsiders, so many bizarre people now who live in our town. It's impure now. And Lady Severin, she's one of the worst. She's a noble, and she is. So I just thought I would make this city great. Make it back to what it once was. Restore its glory. And he starts to get louder and sort of, you can see the madness in his eyes as he starts sort of, orating this big plan. And and as he said, like, outsides and gave you a look, he also then turns and sneers at the half orc who kind of just sort of, and the half orc was there with like manacles, but she kind of goes, starts sort of reaching for
I'm not
for
feeling
more.
too pleased either, to be honest.
Yeah, no.
The laxatives back out.
So you're now wielding laxative once again.
Yes.
And he goes, so you see, I have to complete the ritual. I have to. Don't you see?
That you're mad, yeah. That was fucking obvious.
Well, it doesn't matter anymore, does it?
And
And he draws his dagger
I'm gonna run at him with the laxatives.
and he stabs himself in the throat.
Oh.
Can I try and catch it before it hits the deck?
Is it possible to clean
Prestidigitation.
prestidigitation of blood?
Roll
Control
initiative.
water! Control water!
Roll initiative.
Oh. Control water the blood, definitely.
Oh fuck. That's really bad.
The timings of the things.
I can add the +5.
Yes.
Yes.
Now is definitely the
So-
time for it.
Okay, so that would be a 9
Ooh.
plus 2, it's 10, 11.
Ooh.
13?
13. Okay. So, he draws the knife.
I no longer need the lights.
He plunges it into his throat. And blood begins to well out of the wound that he has just inflicted on himself. And you can still see he's still very much alive, and his mad eye, and he's grinning, and you can see like the blood behind his teeth now as it comes up into his throat. And you can see almost in slow motion, like Captain Ariana Blood going like, oh shit. apart from the dwarf, because she's like, what? Because there's always
someone.
She doesn't know what's going on at all. She's just like, what? Why have we arrested him? What's happening?
Why did he stab himself?
So, you are first initiative. You leap towards him.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna try and stem the bleeding by shoving the laxative powder on the wound
When did he do it? Where did he stab himself?
in the neck.
Oh, in the neck.
Yeah, it stabbed the
Okay.
knife into his neck.
Okay, okay.
The knife's still there.
Oh god.
Powder and bag there, and just hold him up.
Okay, so he sees you diving towards him. He is still alive
Yep.
at this moment in time, so it's a contested skull
Yep.
grapple.
Mm-hmm.
What's
he gonna be? What's he gonna be?
Sorry, I just managed to
Wait.
change windows on my phone because that's quite impressive. Is
As long as
that
the blood doesn't hit the floor.
yeah? Is that athletics for
Technically cure wounds to stop it from bleeding, right? Does that work?
18?
18.
The cure wounds work in this situation.
I'll just double check. I don't think it's enough. I'll just check on Noble.
Unless
Yeah,
I can use acrobatics.
No, you can't use acrobatics to hold someone in. Unfortunately, he fends you off just enough to stop you from catching the blood. But unfortunately, I gave him advantage because he knew what he was doing and he had the moment.
Yeah.
And I still work like dog shit. so Sam, you.
Oh my god, the +5 probably helped.
Ki Yang, yes.
Yes,
The
yes.
+5
I'm like,
has-
wait a minute. My celestial beings was like,
+5,
use
the
it,
+5.
use it.
The +5 has elevated you up just above him. So the blood is the blood. 2, I think. The blood is starting to. You can see the blood welling. You can see.
You tried to
see.
stop it, right?
You
Yeah.
can see Leonard is like wrestling him, trying to staunch the flow, but he's like but all his concentration is now holding Leonard off. So whatever you do, you've got a clean shot at it.
Oh, what do I do? Do I try and shove him out the way of the thing? Or press
No, because if it hits the ground,
Alright, so
you've got to blow him
what?
a really long
See
way
if
away. haven't you?
prestidigitation works on blood.
No, you've got to shake water.
Yeah, but shake water doesn't do it to blood. It's water, right? Like, I can create and destroy water. You gonna class
10,
blood as
9,
thingy?
Do something.
8,
Oh my god.
7,
I'm gonna run up to him and actually no, because the blood will still drip. won't
6, 5.
it? I'm gonna try and clean
4.
the blood with prestidigitation
Okay.
and see if it works.
So as
I
the
can cast
first-
it multiple times apparently, but it's an action.
Yes, but it's an
But
action.
I'm just
It's,
like,
it's
no!
an action. You can only do it once every 6 seconds.
Yeah.
So as the first of the spurt flies out of
Yeah.
his neck, you go, and the blood just like gets whipped away and splatters onto the hedge.
Barry Scott's here, man.
Yeah.
He's like, no.
No. In fact,
No.
because of the conversation you previously had, because you're close enough, you go, and you whip it at the river. And the blood goes arcing over the palace, and splashes down into the water, and so you know that that's
Bang.
safe because you know the priestess said water doesn't count. Water don't. It's got to be earth. It's got to be earth. That's the important thing.
Oh. So that was my action.
Yes.
So bonus actions.
10, 9,
Hold on, man.
8,
Look.
7. Come
Oh
on, dude.
my
It's
God.
already like it's a 10:15.
I know. What can you do as a bonus action?
Fuck all.
Right.
Orc shit.
Yes, all
Ah.
check as bonus
That's
action.
what he's doing. Good.
Is the
No,
knife-
because he
is-
was on his hand
Sorry,
like that.
did you say the knife was still in?
Yes.
The knife is still in his throat.
Was it just because, I don't know, see if healing light on him worked? I don't know. Let's try and heal those wounds.
Sure.
So,
I'll stop blood coming out.
yeah, fuck it, let's just do 2 of them. I don't know. So he regains.
Is that snake eyes?
Yes, he regains 2 hit points.
Did you roll damage for it?
I mean, he's only got 9. He's a noble. He hasn't
Yeah.
got a lot of hit points.
Well, I could do that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
could just do it from rage because I can see
Yeah.
him
So
and I try and heal it.
you heal the knife is still in.
Yeah.
But you've healed it to the point that no blood is coming
So
out.
some of, yeah.
Right. So now it's his turn.
I'm like, I'm healing an enemy. What the fuck?
So he's like, oh no, this isn't going right. So
Boom.
he's going to now, yeah, he's going to now drag the blade around and just open his whole throat up, and then he's just gonna drop. So I'm gonna he's not exactly escaping the grapple.
Yeah.
It's just about control, really. So I'm gonna let you make an athletics check to try and sort of hold him up while he tries and hit the ground.
Oh, come on, dude. He better not be like a wriggly bastard, isn't he? He's gonna be like, no.
A wriggly corpse. 15.
15.
Wait.
A wriggly corpse.
Wait. I should have done that. Or
You didn't know.
No, I know what I'm gonna do now though. Next.
So you stop his
Hopefully.
body hitting the ground.
Oh.
You do manage to hold him up. And that's the end of the surprise round. And so basically, some blood does drip down.
Oh god.
Some blood does drip down.
Oh god.
But because of the way you're holding him,
It's
it
on
falls
me.
on you.
Oh god.
Oh.
Oh, that's okay.
The guards come piling in and... Right. So, as the guards come piling in and you can see the half-orc is she's getting ready to dive, and Arian goes, no! And the half-orc goes, and the half-orc kind of like falls over. Because she knows what's going on, and she's like, no, the blood's not hitting the ground. And Arian runs over, takes her cloak off, her very posh cloak that it shows her, that signifies her being a captain, and wraps it around his throat, and then picks him up and drags him, and says, with me, and the half-orc comes over and grabs him, and they lift him up and they drag him away. And you're lying there with the blood, and you're going like,
It's the world ending.
Don't move, dude. Don't move.
It's the world ending. It's the world ending. Gotta move ya.
I don't know what you're doing.
Well, is it your turn now? I know. What was that?
The combat's over.
Oh. Okay.
Because he's very dead.
So
I was literally going to try to do that with his cloak.
I will. Where is it? I just had it.
Yeah, but it was that thing of you couldn't move because
Yeah.
as soon as you did anything, it was just like, oh,
Yeah.
oh no, oh I tripped him, I tripped him on the ground.
Oh, he did.
I'm
I'm like,
gonna
hello,
Hello, I've come to kill you all.
hello, my name's Neil.
just in case it works. I don't know. Create water at your feet
Why my feet?
Okay, so
around
now
that
it's
area. So it's water. So it has to go through it first. I don't know.
I'm just gonna, like,
You're just gonna sidestep out. Oh, okay.
I'm assuming I'm laying down here because he doesn't just fall.
You're just shimmying away.
Yes,
Okay.
I don't want the blood to touch the floor.
Because I kind of want to run the monster, so dex save. Just for shits and giggles.
Prestidigitation.
Oh, fucking halfling special.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, 7.
Oh shit.
No.
Okay, so between you
No.
you go. It's fine. All the blood dripped on. And you slip and you go. Press his head and you get rid of the blood just as you go on the ground and you go. Oh no. And
that's
so-
someone else's blood.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we didn't have to do
You have prevented the summoning of a demon.
Create water over you. Now you're clean.
No, muddy.
No, you're not. I love being able to just, I see why Liam likes that spell.
It's a fun spell.
Yeah.
Presentation is a fun spell.
Just like that. So, well done. You have prevented the summoning of a demon from the city.
Yeah. It got paid 20 gold.
Your reputation with the Lions Guard has gone up massively.
Oh,
You are now well known and by the Lions Guard and will be contacted in the future. You have spent 2 days on the job, for which you received 20 gold. For the successful conclusion of the mission, you two receive a bonus of 200 gold each.
Ooh.
Ooh, 220.
I think you wanted those back.
Your temporary deputy's badges are taken back. The contracts are torn up.
this scenery one last time.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm not fussed.
I can kind of see it from the docks anyway, you know, as I guess.
Yes. Just to fully wrap everything up, Kalea is tried, and she is punished. She is found guilty of her crimes, but she's not thrown into jail. She is instead sort of essentially given sort of community service.
Does she have to
kind of
look after the now orphaned half elf?
Oh.
No, someone else looks after him. He's put in the orphanage, and then he is taken into somewhere reasonably nice that isn't in the slums. He's, and not Old Town. And he's not adopted by Pooh Boy Pete.
Pooh Boy's apprentice.
Because even in D&D world, people in the orphanage are like, fuck no.
Pete, go away.
Yeah. Like, oh, Pete's coming back. He's trying to get the kid to work. He's trying to get the kid to clean his shit out again. Fucking Pete is incorrigible.
He's like the Artful Dodger of this city.
In terms of people being resurrected, Lady Severin, you never asked, but Lady Severin did try and pay to try and get her maid resurrected, which kind of is one of the things that ruled her out in the investigation.
Whoops.
No one, but because they were involved in the ritual, their souls were not able to come back.
Mm-hmm.
This is why it was a difficult murder investigation, because you couldn't do talk with dead, and you couldn't bring people back and go, who the fuck killed you?
Yeah.
You were clearly having a fight with someone who murdered you.
Who the fuck stabbed you?
And you couldn't just go, oh, it was that dead. She couldn't go, oh, it was him from next door, which would have really helped the investigation.
It would have been done hours ago.
Short.
Yeah.
Any other business we have to? The halfling still follows you around. At some point, I assume you might sort of
be like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, he is a member of the Black Coin. He's just keeping an eye on you.
Yeah, I thought that was what it might be.
Because if you get in trouble, then he can pay his favour off early by swooping in and saving you from whatever trouble you get in. And it also was a case of the halflings going like, he's working with the cops. Should I stabby? And he's like, no, just keep watching. Stop fucking stabbing everyone.
Stop fucking stabbing him. Or people, or he'll be after you.
Why'd you buy me all these knives if I'm not supposed to stab anyone?
I'm just like, knives?
You want knives?
Knives. There's a halfling and a human just standing there going, knives.
So it's like now we know where these spots are, we need to go, right, let's just get some stones and just everything. Make a fountain there, so no blood goes on this particular part.
Yeah, but you could just change it by like 2 degrees and do the same thing.
It was. He knew he had to draw a 7-pointed star.
It doesn't matter where the points are.
It doesn't matter where the points are, but he knew one of the points had to be on the Isle of the Gods because he knew the size of the star. So to make the demon come up in the city, he had to put one of the points of the star on the Isle of the Gods. Therefore, that dictated where the other points were, and he had to make it fit. So he was like, "Oh, just to be safe, I'll drag her over here." All right.
Okay.
It wasn't. This is where the knights are dead, kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay.
Just to fully flesh that out. But yeah, I think that's everything. Congratulations, well done. Yes, you're standing with the Lion Guards has increased. your fame and notoriety around the city has increased, and that will be reflected next week as you get a much more important job to do.
Well, I mean,
potentially much higher rewards.
I mean, if it hadn't, it would be a totally different thing next week because everyone
No,
would
it
be
was
dead.
only Shand rank 3.
Oh,
Shand rank 3.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't a demon lord, he was just a demon.
Mate, his name is O'Neill.
Yeah, but
Like,
that's
Look
dirty.
at the little O'Neill. Look at the little O'Neill.
That's derpy enough to be evil and like mass murdery.
No, the thing that he does is he possesses people.
Oh, lovely, lovely.
So he'll summon and then he'll go, hi, and then he'll disappear and you'll go, what's going on? And one of the guards will go, I don't know, I have to go somewhere now. And he'll be like, wait, where are you going?
Stab him!
Come back here.
Halfling, stab that man!
So that would be the thing. Is like, can you know the demons? You know the demons making the guard attack you all, so you don't want to kill the guards because
Yeah.
it's like, but at the same time you have to get a demon out and difficult decisions. So,
Honk.
and it would have been an interesting fight, but
Yeah.
it never happened because you saved the day. Huzzah! So thank you for watching. Tune in next week for the conclusion of Pooh Boy
Yes.
Pete's side quests. Because no one's going to remember anything else from these 3 weeks except Pooh. And I have resigned myself to that, and that is fine. Look at my heart twitching. So yes, please join us again next week, and then the week after that, Lil will be back, and then also watch the FURN Razor. Yeah,
Woohoo!
marketing. Woo! Thanks for playing, guys. Thanks for
Thanks
being
for
being
running it on.
really
That was
great
good.
players.
Yeah.
For putting up with my continuous tangents.
The tangents were brilliant, I love it.
We'll do this again next week.
Yeah.